Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of Infinite Horizon. I am reasonably certain y'all can hear me. Yeah, okay, good. I think we're good. I think we're good. Voice Mod decided to play games with me today, and yeah. Anyway, but all those problems should be fixed. Hello, everyone. Um, welcome. Um, it's so good to be back for space. Um, Last time we had a hell of an episode, so I'm very excited to dive into tonight. Hear you, but you sound oddly like this guy Lucas. That's weird. I don't know what that's
I was
about.
thinking the exact same thing. I
Yeah,
was like,
that's
you
really
remind
weird.
me of a friend I have.
Mm,
Like,
that's
it's weird.
that's very strange. Voice mod, what are you doing? Um, all right. Well, before we get into tonight's episode, just a few quick announcements about the week, which is yesterday, of course, and Tuesdays in general. We had our latest episode of Into Deep, our Waterdeep Dragon Heist actual play. Um, I missed it, so y'all know more about what's happening on that episode on that show right now than I do. But it's very cool. I'm gonna do my best to, without having seen it, tell you what happened. Everything was chaotic, very gay, and very funny. So I'm gonna guess that's
Yeah,
my
3 for 3.
guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
yeah.
Um,
And much more.
so, but yeah, it's great. I'm loving that show. So, yes, Rose, very gay. Um, all right. So anyway, we are we're that episode will be up on YouTube on Saturday. Saturdays seem to be working out as our upload day, so I think we're gonna keep it. Um, but yeah. So anyway, in too deep. Of course, the week will continue. At kind of rounding out the end of the week with Ramblemancy this Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, where we will have special guest Omar Najam, who will be here talking with us about media favorites. We'll be chatting all about our favorite media, the things that made us kind of who we are in terms of media, and what kinds of things we connect with in media. And it'll be so fun. I'm very
Very
excited.
funny, very charming man who is just makes the best pop culture references, and it makes me sad that I miss them sometimes because he loves them so. Like
Yeah.
he loves them so much. So I'm glad he'll get to come
Yeah.
and hang
And
out
of
with
course,
everybody.
it would be remiss if I didn't also mention that John will make his return after
Yeah.
several weeks of not being here. John will be. Oh my God, Gemini Lightning. Gemini has gifted many subs. Thank you so much, Gemini, for gifting all those subs. Well, this is how this episode will begin, I suppose. But yeah, so we will. Gemini says I blame Caitlin for not streaming.
I literally today was like, man, I should start getting back into streaming. Maybe I'll try to start streaming next week. So
Whoa.
maybe you've summoned it. Who knows?
Read her mind.
um all right. So that's what we have going on this week. So uh yeah. I think that's pretty much everything we've got at the top for our top of stream announcements. Um Anybody have any burning things they want to announce right now?
I mean, I still always power play on Q times on Sundays at 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm
Yeah.
remembering times where Omar Najam, you'll see him on Friday here, and then you can catch him on Sunday again with me.
Yeah.
And like I said, I might, don't hold me to it because nothing I say has any merit. I might start streaming again next week. Maybe. I have a lot of work to do right now.
Yeah. Rose, thank you so much for the gift subs. Thank you.
Also,
No.
I'm also going to be on Key Times.
Mhm.
I'm honestly just following Caitlin. And everyone Caitlin goes on to be
Just
following as
following
well.
Caitlin, yeah.
I would be delighted.
But yeah, on Friday at I have no idea what the time is. I need to check. Hold on.
I don't remember either.
Wait, is that this
actually.
Friday?
Yeah.
Is that this
Yeah,
Friday?
this Friday. This
Wow.
Friday's gonna be the premiere of
I don't know
Parliament
why-
Hours at
I don't know why I thought it was
9:30 Eastern.
Yeah. What? Sorry. What was
Yeah,
it?
and it's a 9:30 Eastern on Friday. It's called Parliament of Owls, which is a Pathfinder's campaign where we all play villains.
Oh yeah.
I'm very excited. Some people from Rule of Laws are gonna be on it. Me and Liv are gonna be playing, and Our characters are awful, awful people, and I'm very, very excited to actually get to play them.
I
It's
can't
gonna be
wait.
fun.
From what I know about them, they seem very fun.
Excellent. Also, I actually think Drac didn't Friends Who Roll Dice, the player call went out for your charity stuff,
Yes,
didn't it?
it went out this Monday. So if you check my Twitter account, which is Draconix, that's DRAKONIQUES, or on Friends Roll Dice, that's just Friends Roll Dice on Twitter. You'll see that we've posted a player call for the charity event we're going to be doing in March. We haven't decided what charity it's going to be because it's going to be part of a Twitch team event with Emporium, which is a part of the Twitch team we're part of. And just as a team, we haven't decided enough charity yet. But because I think I'm probably the only TTRPG, we're the only TTRPG like channel on there. We kind of need to start planning earlier than everyone else, because everyone else is more like gameplay. And they can just pick up a game and decide to play. So yeah. Once we know what charity we're going to be raising money for, we're gonna let everyone know. But yeah, we've got some really cool and fun indie TTRPGs in the works and being played. So if you wanna, if any of them tickle your fancy, please do sign up. I'll retweet them now, in fact. So if you just go to my account,
Perfect.
you'll see this will be the first tweet up there.
Perfect. All right. Well, while Drac is doing that, I think we can go ahead and get into our recap. So, previously, oh my god, I always forget that my computer decides to yell every time I switch to the screen. All right. I don't even know if everybody else can hear that or not, but my computer just yelled. So, enjoy. All right. So previously on Infinite Horizon, on their way to free a Border Worlds outpost from a corporate-funded pirate blockade, the crew of Awakener stumbled into a hostile patrol, quickly finding themselves in a fight for their lives. Though the crew were badly outnumbered, a mysterious fighter squadron took the opportunity to ambush the pirates while they were pursuing Awakener. After making short work of the pirate squadron, the fighters introduced themselves as Scrapyard Squadron, an infamous group of vigilantes that hunt pirates in the Border Worlds. Following introductions, Scrapyard Squadron escorted Awakener back to their carrier ship, the Derelict. Once docked, the crew were greeted by Major Silden Killjoy Krail, the leader of Scrapyard Squadron, and they explained the reason for their presence in this part of the Border Worlds. Though each had their initial reservations about the other, the crew quickly discovered that Scrapyard Squadron was also interested in seeing the pirate blockade gone. After agreeing to combine their efforts, the crew left the Major to plan the details of the blockade run, whereupon Bina bumped into an old friend and mentor, Alel Lara. The two spent some time catching up about everything that had happened in the 8 years since they had seen each other shortly thereafter. After taking some time to rest and prepare, Awakener, accompanied by Scrapyard Squadron, began their run on the pirate blockade. Together, the small group of ships outmaneuvered the swarm of pirates as Taeon and Mason made short work of one of their gunships with Awakener's weapons. Their way clear, Scrapyard Squadron and Awakener made their way towards the planet's surface. And that is where we left off. So... let me close this because I just realized closing this means I can see your faces again, so that's important. So, currently, as the whole group of fighters and Awakener make their way down, you start piloting your way through the atmosphere down planet side. You can hear the chatter. Oh, excuse me. You can hear the chatter of Scrapyard Squadron as basically everybody is checking in on each other, making sure everybody's accounted for. And it sounds like everybody's fine. A few minor hits that a couple people took, but mostly sounds like everybody's fine. And then you hear the Major's voice come over the comms. Awakener, what's your status?
I think we're fine. I think we didn't get hit at all, did we?
No, not at all.
Yeah, we're good. We're doing fine. Is everyone gonna make it down okay?
Looks like it. All of Scrapyard Squadron present and accounted for. Keep an eye out as we head planet side. We're not sure about what resistance we might meet down below.
Understood.
All of our scouting and patrols seem to indicate the pirates weren't residing planet side, but that doesn't mean they haven't left anybody behind. You see, Alma glances over at you from the co-pilot's seat, and she just says, "We should probably try to find some place relatively near the settlement to set down."
Mm-hmm. Do we have the capability to like scan for like ship signatures or anything like that?
Yeah, you could do that.
Like planet side, if we see it, could we scan for anything that matches the types of ships we were?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do this, or I believe Peach would technically still be at this at the.
Yeah, I'm still chilling at that station.
Yeah, I don't need to do it. I just don't know if our ship was capable.
Yeah,
of it.
no, it's definitely possible. And so actually, so Peach, I think you could probably, since you're sitting at the sensor station, you could probably do that.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up the chart again because I don't have it with me.
Yeah, Bina will just turn and be like, "Hey, Peach, do you want to get us some eyes planet side before we make it down?"
Happy to take a peek. And I'm going to scan, or wait, let's see. Yeah, if other ships are in the area.
Okay. I think this is going to be a difficulty 3 intellect task. And I think go ahead. You can have an asset because Alma is no longer helping with like piloting stuff, so she can actually help you with that too. So.
Okay.
So
and I have
2 right now, basically.
Okay, and I have a power shift and intelligence, which brings that down, right? Isn't that what we? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a 1, and I'll use a free level of effort.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So, yeah. Are you gonna roll anyway, or are you just gonna go ahead and take the W, as it were?
I'm just gonna take the W
All
on
right,
this
cool.
one.
Not testing fate.
I know it's unusual, but I felt it. Thought it was right.
I always gotta ask.
We start off chill today. We're just gonna roll. We're gonna ease into it.
Yeah. Today peace was maybe an option. So
we'll see.
All right. So you start running the running Awakener scanners. You can't ping like planet wide, but you can go you can cast a pretty wide sensor net nearby. And locally, it appears that the only ship signatures that you're picking up are actually at the settlement themselves, and they don't seem like they're the same kind of. They seem mostly like shuttles and things like that. With, yeah, it's nothing like what you've seen from the pirate raiders.
Doesn't look like there are any pirates nearby from what I'm seeing, and I'm just gonna relate what I saw.
You're muted, Caitlin.
Sorry.
No.
You're muted. Yells.
Yeah, I have to. It's a compulsion. No, Vina's just gonna be like, at least we don't have any ships down there.
Yeah.
They said they could still have personnel, crew down there, but probably no gunner ships. Get us from below.
Alma looks over and just says, "How close do you want to get? I mean, we could put down right outside of the settlement, or we can go a little further out."
Split the difference, maybe? I don't want to scare them.
Okay. She looks I think I see a place. It's maybe about a quarter mile out from the settlement.
Vina will turn to everyone and be like, "How's that sound?"
Sounds good.
Best not to swoop down on them and spook them.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. As you manage to break Atmo and make it down below cloud cover, you can see how a very green world immediately below you. The area that you have entered the planet is largely mountainous. You can see where there are rivers snaking down into sort of green plains in the lowlands, and very distantly just over the horizon, you think you might be able to see the sort of shimmering gray of ocean, or at least some large body of water. the mountainous area is heavily forested, and as you make your way in that direction, you start to see sort of a large jutting plateau that sticks out from the side of the mountain, where you can see one of the larger rivers that you can see from up here pours down over an enormous waterfall that then cascades down the mountain and goes out down through the plains, cutting through them like a thin gray line. On that plateau, you can see what appears to be a rather large collection of prefab shelters, the kind that are pretty standard when sent on like worlds that are newly settled. That basically, it's what they are is essentially like large crates that can be kind of configured and pulled together to create larger buildings from smaller pieces. It seems to be an entire small town built entirely of prefab units. Even from here, you can kind of tell that it's been there a while. In spite of the fact that everybody still seems to be living out of prefab units, they seem to have been setting out for the long haul here. That said, you can in and amongst the prefab shelters, you can also see what appear to be other structures that were probably built by the settlers afterwards. Most of them wooden, and you can see some, like, even from this distance, you can see that they seem to be made of wood and some kind of metallic material. Yeah, but basically what you're seeing is it's a lot more than just a small settlement. This is a functioning town. Is like, even from this distance, that's obvious. But as you approach, you make your way towards a clearing, a rather large meadow, that's just about a quarter mile away from the settlement, as Alma said. Also on this, located on this large plateau. But yeah, you set down in the clearing, scrapyard close behind, and the contingent of a dozen ships lands without incident.
I have a question to ask that I haven't asked for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
What time of day is it on this planet?
Okay. It looks like it is probably in the late morning, moving towards afternoon.
Okay. What do you guys think? Should we approach now, or should we wait till it gets dark?
Well, I mean, they probably saw us firefight and then entering Atmo.
Right.
If
Probably
anyone
makes
was outside, I would guess they saw us, but
probably makes no difference then.
Yeah, I reckon we should head in now. At least if there are people who aren't hostile, or give them less time to become anxious about a strange ship landing and then nothing for hours.
yeah.
Better in the daytime too.
Yeah.
All right.
No, we're not sneaking.
Let's gear up then. It'd be good to stretch my legs.
Yeah, it was fun in the kind of pit, but I need some fresh air.
Yeah, that's usually how I feel after too.
Yeah.
All right. So, you all kind of begin gathering whatever you wish to take with you, and start kind of gathering essentially the landing party in the hold right by the entrance. You see Vix sort of leaning on the hovercraft, going, "So, you mind if I tag along? I mean, don't get me wrong, I really like this ship, but I don't know. Some outside would be nice. Preferably some outside that isn't, going to freeze me to death.
Great. As long as you promise to play nice.
Sure.
Then, sure thing. Kind of turn to everybody else, just making sure no one else has an objection.
Kind of shrugs.
Mason shrugs. Yeah.
I didn't think anybody would care.
Like,
Ethan gives thumbs up.
How many? That's the question. How many thumbs up?
2.
2. Okay. So
Okay,
not
that's pretty good.
She's carrying stuff, I think.
fair enough. Okay.
Fair.
As many thumbs as are available to give.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
She's like strapping her like tool belt bag onto her hip while she gives 2 thumbs up.
That's cool.
All right. Actually, let's.
Does anyone else want to come? Is anybody else like wanting to come with us?
I think everybody else is probably gonna stay unless you specifically request somebody come with you.
Nah, that's good. I was just
I
wondering.
do have a question for Ada Spriggs to see if we might be too far away. I don't know. This isn't Bina's bag of expertise, so she would know if this is something that Ada could even do or not. But if there's any way she would be able to hear any of the pirate chatter. It's out of Atmo now, and I don't know if we would need to like put something in place before that was able to happen, but just if there were like any frequencies she could tap into just to like are they gonna launch like now a counter-strike now that they know we're planet side? Like it'd be nice to have fair warning, but I don't know if that's something that she can do.
She can attempt it. It's
just while we're gone. Just
right,
someone
yeah.
keeping an
It's
eye
something
on.
that's like it's gonna be kind of difficult because there's not really without the pirates nearby.
Yeah.
It'll be difficult to determine what frequencies they're using, but yeah. But she can certainly attempt this.
I figured it'd be a rough task, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Ada has
if they're just
homework
chilling.
while we're gone.
Yeah, if they're just chilling. I mean, she seems like someone who also likes a challenge, like Bina, so maybe she'd be into it.
Yeah. So, are you going on foot or are you taking the hovercraft?
I mean, it depends. How far away did we land?
It's about a quarter
Oh,
mile.
Quarter mile, right?
So-
400 meters.
Yeah.
Roughly.
It's not too far, right?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's like my driveway that I
Yeah.
had to walk up and down to get to the bus every day. Very long driveway. I
I
live
mean,
on a farm.
I'd like to stretch my legs.
We probably need it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're leaving a pilot on the thing as well. So, like, if we need a speedy getaway, someone could come pick us up if we absolutely needed to.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. So
luck.
you disembark from Awakener, stepping out onto into the grass of the meadow. The grass is pretty long. For most of you, it kind of comes up to like just above the knee. But yeah, no, it's it's long green grass and dotted with the splotch of color every once in a while from wildflowers. There's a thick alpine scent that permeates the air here as you step out. And hold on, I think I have a thing for this. Do I? No, I don't. Never mind. I thought I was prepared. I was wrong. But yeah, you step out onto the meadow. You can see around you where the fighters landed. Scrapyard is sort of stepping out of their kind of climbing out of their fighters. And you see not too far away where the major is standing. And as he sees you disembark, he walks over. He says, "All right, so I'm not sure how you want to handle this. If you're going into the settlement, I'd like to send at least one of Scrapyard with you, but the rest of us I think are probably better suited near our fighters, just in case."
Makes sense to me.
Definitely agree with that, actually. Yeah.
He nods and he glances over. He says, "Hotshot," and you can see the Keldra woman step up as she basically like her long, thick braids have basically been coiled on top of her head, as she steps over in her full flight suit. He says, "Go with them to the settlement. Be Scrapyard's representation." She nods. Says, "Yes, sir."
Guess you're with us, Hotshot.
I guess so. What's the plan?
Well,
Tennis like looks at everyone like, what's their plan? And so we're just gonna go in.
yeah, I mean, our plan is really to go and talk to these people, I think.
Sounds good.
See if they have any defenses or they have any desires and what we can kind of do to help.
Also letting them know that corporations are attempting to scare them away from their clearly well-loved and hard-built home might drum up some support, and at least letting them know what's going on I think will be beneficial for them in the long run.
All right. I'll not exactly a people person, so I'll follow your lead.
We go, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
You all make your way out to the edge of the meadow, into the trees. As you're making your way through the trees, you can see all kinds of forest wildlife that is just sort of scattering at your approach. Small rodent-like creatures that just sort of scatter through the underbrush.
Here's a
And-
fun question.
Mhm.
How are the little underbrush rodents feeling?
Immediate alarm. They're just
Excellent.
terrified and scattering at your approach.
I knew that, but it was what I wanted to ask. I've
Yeah.
never asked to check an animal's emotions before.
Yeah, they are terrified.
Is it cold on this planet or is it like
It's-
moderate? What's the temperature?
It's pretty temperate, but it is a little chilly today. As like basically everything is fully overcast. There's sort of like a light breeze that is running through the trees, causing them to sway, and occasionally you can see like a cascade of needles just sort of falling to the ground, coating the already covered ground underneath. You can smell very strongly on the air the smell of rain approaching. And even somewhat like distantly, you can even sort of hear some of the like rolling thunder that is sort of cascading through the through the mountains.
Beautiful day.
Kind of is, yeah. Let's just hope it doesn't get ugly.
Like, what do you mean?
I mean, it
Weather-wise, or with the?
Oh no, weather-wise, it sounds like it's gonna rain soon, but I don't think that's particularly ugly.
Same.
I just hope we don't have to run into any pirates down here.
I have to say, I have not been trained in combat in a forested environment, so I hope the same.
I'm sure you'll adapt.
Yeah, I hope.
Vix,
Hope.
like 30 seconds late, goes, "Oh, I get it," because okay, I got there.
Just
Thanks.
Mason, just deadpan.
Stereotypes like, seriously, you didn't get it. Okay.
Look, I'm looking at nature. I don't have time for jokes.
I will say that I've never been on a planet that had rain that wasn't polluted.
Yeah, the smell's nice too. Huh.
I mean, that kind of sounds like we need to get you on more planets to me.
Yeah.
The frozen planet isn't doing it for you anymore.
Oh, I was referring to Krenai, my home planet.
At that, Hotshot glances over at you. She says, "Krenai? You're an ascendancy boy, huh?"
I'm a little bit of everything, boy.
Well, I didn't grow up on Krenai, but my family moved there when I was in my teens.
Yep. You grow up different.
Yeah. She doesn't. She just sort of kind of falls into a thoughtful silence as you continue walking.
Bina just goes, "We don't really get weather on stations." She's like watching.
Just those weather simulators, right?
Usually, I mean, some of the really fancy ones have that stuff, but usually it's just like day-night cycle. Haven't really had like proper weather long term since, you know. She like thinks about it for a second. She goes like, "Orzai homeworld, probably."
Mm.
I'd
Well,
spend a lot of time on ships.
If it does start to rain, maybe you'll have to stand out, run around, and really get the full experience.
She all arms out, and catch a bunch of water.
Yeah, as long as there aren't
Yeah,
any
I'll be honest.
pirates that follow us,
That's
then
true.
Yeah, I think that's our main issue.
kind of take a glance up at the sky, like.
Yeah, it's just.
Pirates willing, we'll do some dancing in the rain.
All right. You proceed through the woods for not terribly long before you encounter not like a perimeter fence or anything like that, but Bina, you would immediately recognize what looks like perimeter sensors, the kind that are pretty standard for colonies and settlements to have especially on uninhabited worlds. You never know what kind of wildlife is out there, so it always pays to know when things are moving at the borders. However, as you step past them, you note that you aren't passing them unmarked. You can see that there's a group of individuals not too far away from the first sensor that you see. They actually, let's put it this way. You don't see them so much as you can tell that they're there before you see them. As Bina, you sense sort of anticipation and nerves from up ahead.
Yeah, she'll just kind of like whatever vague direction it seems like it's coming from. She'll just kind of like wave in that direction to try to pretend like, "Oh, I've spotted you, hey," but like she's just like,
yeah,
hey, like.
I think when Taeyeon sees like Bina doing it, it's like gonna try to wave in the same direction as she's
Yeah, she'll
waving.
be like, "We've
Who
got
waved
some
at her?
friends up ahead.
Okay.
Try to seem friendly." Like,
It's friendly.
I don't know if I can do that, but I won't be threatening.
That's a good start.
Um,
Let's meet these people.
you step forward, and as you step across the perimeter, the sensor perimeter, you see a couple of people step out from behind trees.
it's a waving as much as like her two bottom arms also come out just like a little like lift up from the sides. It's like,
Yeah.
I am unarmed. I'm friendly and unarmed. Hello. Like, here are all. I'm very armed, but I am not weaponized. Hello.
You can see that one of them, a Terran woman is holding basically like a pretty rudimentary projectile rifle, single shot, long barreled, as she's standing there like holding it at the ready but not pointed at you. She just
Understandable.
holds up a hand and just says, that's far enough. She looks at the group of you as you all stop. She says, "You don't look like pirates. What's your business here?"
Very anti-pirate, and that's the main business. We are hoping to speak with some people who live here.
She looks at the Nelfin man standing next to her, and they sort of exchange kind of like a wordless glance, and she looks back. Actually, here's what I'm gonna have you do. Bina, I'm gonna have you make a roll. I'm gonna make an intellect. This is an intellect roll, an intellect task, because
Okay.
this is a persuasion.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I give encouragement on? You probably don't need it, but I can give
You can if you
encouragement.
want to.
Sure.
I like to feel
The
powerful.
difficulty of this task is going to be 3.
Okay. Oh, my sheet is just nothing is up to date. Okay. No, I think I might. You can if you want. But
You probably don't need to.
social
Right.
interactions, pleasant or otherwise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I have a free level of intellect ever.
Okay. Cool. Do you want to roll?
No.
Okay. Cool.
We're gonna stick with that.
All right.
I rolled 12 times last episode when I didn't have to. I'm gonna take it easy today.
Fair. She kind of takes the rifle and sort of you can see her arms relax, and she just grabs the strap and sort of slings it over her shoulder, and she says, "Okay, why don't you come with me then?" And she says, "Are there more of you?"
Yeah, but they're not gonna come. They're not gonna approach the town.
We have friends back in ships, but they're not following.
They're trying to make sure the pirates didn't follow us down. So
Okay.
So what you see is what you get.
Hope that's good enough.
She nods and indicates that you should walk past her, back in kind of the direction of the settlement.
follow instructions.
Yeah. As you make your way past her, she just sort of takes the strap, puts it all the way over her head, and then starts just kind of walking alongside the two of you, Bina and Peach. And she says, "I sorry about we've had. Well, I'm sure you've seen."
Oh, I think that was a pretty friendly greeting, knowing the circumstances. So
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Well, you don't look like pirates, and
thank you.
and she just kind of keeps walking and says, "Well, probably going to take you to the mayor. He'll probably have questions." She glances over her shoulder, kind of in the direction that you came, and she says, "Did you? Sorry, I don't mean to. You came with those were starfighters that I saw, right?"
I look back at Hotshot and
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She looks over and says, "Oh, yep, starfighters. We're Scrapyard Squadron." And she nods. The woman nods and says, "Good. Not to push or anything, but are there more of you? I mean, did you bring? You're not regulators or anything, are you?"
Mason just. Oh.
What's
No.
Mason's reaction?
Yeah.
Hell no.
She goes, "Right. Guess that would have been too much to hope for." Hotshot says,
You're better off.
Hotshot just nods and says, "Again, like he said, what you see is what you get." And you can feel sort of a surge of disappointment and a spike of anxiety from her. But yeah, you proceed again, like in the rest of the way to the settlement. As you arrive, you can kind of see the way that this settlement is structured. Actually, is kind of interesting. A lot of the prefabs have been set up in such a way that they kind of form almost like a perimeter around, like not like a wall or anything like that, but you can see that there are just a few openings. Basically, as you walk in, there's kind of one opening on the side that you're making your way through, just sort of a standard gate. And as you walk through a sort of a narrow alley between two of the prefab units, you actually step into a much wider avenue between them, that's open on both ends. But other than sort of being open on either end, it seems like either side is enclosed fully, basically creating like two walls almost along either side.
And Taylor definitely notices that.
Yeah.
Just goes, It's really good for tunneling. If we do get, there's only one entrance. If we bottleneck them, we can defend this place pretty easily.
Are you saying that to the group or?
Yeah, to the group. He just says that out loud. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's not even like he's saying it to anyone. He just notices it and just kind of mutters it, says it out
Yeah.
loud
Mhm.
as he's looking.
Good to know.
Not
that that'll be important, but
Oh no, I hope not. Anyway, but I can tell they put some thought into how they built this place.
Smart.
The two that met you lead you towards what looks like a much like most of the buildings here are between 1 and 2 prefab units that are put together, but the area that they lead you to is a kind of a structure that seems to be a bunch of different prefabs that are sort of pulled together of different sizes. Like there are some that are twice as long as the standard ones that are all sort of pulled together into sort of a much larger kind of complex. And she walks you up, and as you're walking through, you can see people who are either from inside their prefabs or a couple of people who are outside, going about their day. You can see that they're all kind of looking at you curiously. A few of them, Bina, you can sense their anxiety, but it's not particularly acute, considering that you appear to be calmly walking along with some of their fellows. But they lead you up into this complex, and as you step in, you're immediately into sort of like a what looks like some kind of sitting room, and as you move through one of the doors, you start to see what looks like prefabs that have been divided into offices and into, you can see through the length of one to that looks like it is a lab of some kind, where you can see people working on attending to sort of samples of plant life and things like that. They definitely seem to be surveyors in there, but as you step into one of the prefabs, the whole of this prefab unit that you've stepped into is it is unmistakably some sort of meeting place, like some sort of town hall or town center of some kind. Inside there are very few occupants, but the main one that you notice is a Skoru, who, like one of the avian species who founded the Commonwealth, who notices you as you step in, and you can sense and see in his sort of like ruffling of his plumage as you approach, concern and sort of wariness. But he steps over to you as you approach and addresses the Terran woman, and she looks at him and says, these are some of the ones who came down in the ships that came down that we saw earlier. They say that they're here against the pirates. I thought you'd want to speak with them. He nods, and he glances around and he says, "We'll continue this later." And the other people in the room, sort of all of whom were staring at your group as you approached, they kind of exchange looks and exit, and it's just now your group, and the Skoru and the two that brought you in. He looks at your group and says, "Welcome. My name is Zed. I am the mayor of this place. To what do we owe the, well, confusing circumstance of your arrival?
Well, nice to meet you, Marizad. My name's Peach. Introductions, guys.
And Taeyon.
Bina Oba. And she puts a hand out to shake.
Yeah, he reaches out and actually does take it and shakes.
Mason. And we're the crew of the Wakener.
Vix. I'm Vix. And Hotshot steps forward and says, "And I'm Captain Nikara Zadzima of Scrapyard Squadron." He nods, and his head kind of inclines at that and says, "Scrapyard, yes. I've heard reports of your activities out here in the border worlds. Wasn't sure whether to believe it, though." She nods and just sort of gives us a quick smirk and says, "We get that a lot." Says, "Well, I'm afraid you've arrived under difficult circumstances. We are currently dealing with some difficulties, as I'm sure you saw."
Yeah, some nasty
Yeah.
pirates up there.
Yes, well, pirates are certainly a hazard in these parts. Something that we knew we might have to contend with one day.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin, I think you're muted.
She just kind of, Bina just kind of says, but doesn't this seem a little extreme?
It would.
Targeted.
He frowns, and Bina, you can feel his wariness sort of go up. As he sort of looks at you, all very sort of searchingly, and says, "I get the impression that you know a bit more about what's happening than I would have expected."
It wasn't an accident that we showed up in the middle of not so great circumstances. We're here because of the not so great circumstances.
I see.
We're here to help.
Well, I can tell you right now that our settlement is very. We are not currently in a position to be able to hire any kind of gun hands or whatever it is that you do.
Oh, that's not why we're here.
Yeah. No, not at all, actually.
We just don't like the corpse.
And they seem to have a hand in what's going on with the pirates and how they're dealing with you down here.
He glances around and says, "I'm sorry. Please have a seat." And he gestures around to some of the the chairs that are around. And as he settles into one himself, says, "Yes, it's true. The corporations we suspected that the corporations were behind the pirate attacks. They showed up, a delegation from High Prime terraforming, a little over a month ago, offered us a frankly, embarrassingly large sum of money to, vacate the settlement and find our way elsewhere. But of course we refused. This is our home. Many of us came here because we had nowhere else to go. We came out here for a fresh start, a place where we could carve out our own existence. A place far away from the troubles of the inner conflicts of the galaxy. And we have been quite successful, frankly, until recently. So we politely refused their offer, told them that we would have to decline, And, well, they didn't seem to take that particularly well, although it didn't seem unexpected to them. They presented us with some veiled threats, saying that the border worlds were a dangerous place for settlers such as ourselves, and that we should be careful. And only about a week later, these very well-equipped pirates arrived and began harassing some of our patrols. Our food stores are down significantly because we haven't been able to send out any hunting or foraging parties for the better part of a month. And it has been difficult.
Does that mean have there been pirates on planet as well, stopping you from going out hunting?
Sometimes, although it seems that they are not based planet side.
Okay.
We see their ships as they break atmosphere. We always know when they're coming, but it seems like that's what they want. They want us to know when they're coming. They are trying to make life difficult, but as of yet they haven't directly harmed anyone. It seems like mostly they are here to
Intimidate.
Yes. We're
not a fan of that, so.
Well, we received recently another offer from High Prime. Lower this time. In fact, that's what we were meeting to discuss when you arrived. The new proposal. I'm sorry to say that if you've come here to help, I think I'm sorry to tell you that you may have wasted your time.
I'm guessing you're going to be accepting the offer.
We have few other choices.
What if you did have another?
Bina, as Taeon says that you feel from him you feel mostly resignation, but from the Terran woman who came with you, you feel something. You feel like she is intrigued, and you can feel just the slightest bit of like reluctant excitement.
A little bit of hope.
Yeah.
That's what we like to feel.
He hangs his head, and kind of you can see that that the feathers on his head sort of ruffle up a little bit and then sort of flutter, and he looks up and says,
I do when that Terran woman, when she gets that little spark, I
Mhm.
do want to make eye contact with her and smile just a little bit, and then like go back to the conversation at hand.
Yeah. He says, if there were another option, we would have found it by now. There's very little that can be done. I appreciate your offer of assistance, but I am afraid that even with your fighter escort, I suspect that unless you've brought more with you, there's not much that you can do.
I mean, we can do quite a lot even without the fighter escort.
We pack a little bit more of a punch than you might think.
And Mason, with that, when Peach says pack a little more punch, Mason like will adapt his fist into more of a rock hard fist and just like punch the wall.
Oh no! Oh, good.
Yeah,
the wall.
There's like a very distinct dent that just sort of appears in the wall as Mason. And he kind of
I'm gonna go over to
startled.
the wall and touch it, and I'm gonna use repair and just basically fix it.
Yeah, you watch as it's like watching like somebody hit rewind as the thing just sort of pops back into place, basically perfectly fine. you can feel the astonishment, but you don't need to be an empath to see it. You can see as everybody in the room just sort of is shocked,
Mhm.
including Hotshot, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
I've seen that.
And he looks at that, says, "What? Why? What?" And
We've been a thorn in the corp side for a while, and we're pretty good at it. So we just would like to offer our services to be thorns on your side.
On your
Sounds
side, but not in
yeah,
your
but
side.
not in your side. I think Turn like
It's-
legitimately go to that and he said like thorns on your side, but not in your side. Like he says that out loud because he could catch
Good.
himself.
We've seen.
Vix
Oh.
just smirks and he just leans over and just a nice save.
Oh.
Sorry, Olivia, you were saying something.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, we've seen the destruction they can do firsthand, and not looking to see a repeat of that.
You can see the Terran woman. She steps up and just says, "Zed, if they can help, this might be what we've been waiting for." He says, "That's enough, Treya." He says, "I don't know that there's anything left to discuss here. Truly, I appreciate everything that you are offering, but even with," he kind of glances over at the no longer dented wall and he says, you haven't seen them. You got a taste of it coming down, but they're strong, and I just don't see that a few extra hands will make a difference, however extraordinary. Now, you are welcome to stay here until you are rested and ready to leave, but I recommend you don't stay too long.
When does High Prime need your decision by? What's their deadline?
In 2 days.
Know what they're here for?
I have been told that their surveyors have discovered a vein of tetrium beneath our settlement. Or at least not directly beneath, but nearby.
And you know what they're gonna do with that?
No.
They're gonna keep hurting people. Like you and your friends and your family and your town that you have all built up with your own hands. We can help you stop them. You can help us stop them.
You don't need to let them take it from you.
Without it, they will find another way. The best thing that I can do right now is make sure that none of my people, the people that I have been entrusted to protect, see any more harm at the hands of these people.
I saw very few people in this room compared to the size of this town. What does everyone else think about this?
Let them have a say. Do they want to fight for their home?
Thank you for coming. Please do make yourselves at home.
Oh man, is he being shady or what?
You
No,
want
I think he's just
I
scared.
don't think he is either. Yeah. Well. Okay.
You can feel, Bina, you can feel Treya, the Terran woman near you. You can feel that she is just like she's seething. But you feel her hand on your shoulder. She says, come on, come with me.
Mayor, Before, as we're going out, I'm gonna turn back to the mayor and just say, Marizette, I would give that decision at the last second possible if I were you.
He, you can see that he looks at you and he gives you sort of an appreciative nod and says, "Thank you."
Okay. Can I just can I just do a quick read service thoughts there? I just want to see if
little mind read.
I just want to see if he's like if he actually is agreeing or if he's just trying to placate.
Okay, you.
If I can tell from his expression, that's also good. But I think she'd probably do it at the same time.
Yeah, no, you can
get a read at both.
Yeah, you basically hear, like, basically get the sense from his surface thoughts. It's not exactly words or anything like that, but the impression that you get is something that is like a feeling that is something along the lines of, basically like, there's some good people. It's a shame that they came too late, right? Like that kind of, sort of,
okay.
yeah. Like he's definitely like appreciative of what you're doing and what you're trying to do, but you can tell that he feels like the die has been cast at this point.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
He nods. You step out following Treya back out into the settlement. And as soon as you're outside, she turns to you, Peach, and she says, "You really think you can do something?" I think
well,
you're.
go ahead. Oh, sorry. I was drinking water exactly when you asked me that.
It's fine. Peter drinking water. It's fine.
Well, we don't give up easily, and I think that we can come up with a few ideas. I'm gonna kind of turn
all this way.
Yeah, we don't have anything else on our calendar for today, so yes, I think we can help.
Okay. I'm sorry about. He and I have had this argument for, well, a lot. We actually did have a town-wide vote on this. In the end, most everybody wanted to take High Prime's offer and try to basically cut our losses here and find some other place, maybe, and found another settlement. But honestly, I don't think anybody actually believes that's going to happen. Best case scenario, as soon as we vacate, we break up, go our separate ways, and go back to whatever it is that people had before this. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening.
How many are you?
It's about 150. Oh, actually, Nima and Joran just had a baby, so actually it's 151.
What would happen if you don't give in this decision?
If we... It has... High Prime has heavily implied that this is the final offer, and if they really are bankrolling these pirates, then I imagine that they will give the order or the go-ahead to use whatever force is necessary to get rid of us. After all, if pirates destroy colony in the border worlds, nobody anywhere else will bat an eye.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
I
The
thought we were gonna have
town?
to fight our way through this, but I think a little bit of espionage might be on our side here. How many pirates' reputations can we ruin the same day that we've traced some money back to where it came from? We're still gonna have to punch some pirates, which I think will be very fun for everyone involved, but we might look at some pulling back the curtain a little bit too.
And even if we don't ruin the pirate's reputation, we'll definitely ruin the corpse.
If we could expose that High Prime is behind the attacks, that could cause a whole lot of problems for them.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that might slow them down at least, maybe even bring some attention onto us out here and what's happening. Scrutiny might
It's
actually
not the end all be all, but
some scrutiny
something.
might actually be the shield that we need to give us something. I mean, if you can at this point, Bina, your comm just crackles, and you hear Ada Sprix just, Bina, you had me monitoring the pirates trying to find their comm channels.
Yeah, you hearing anything?
Yeah, I think we might have a problem.
When don't we? What?
At that moment, you hear just sort of it's sort of, you feel it more than you hear it, sort of like a vibrate, like a sudden like rumbling vibration that just sort of, it's not thunder, it's very clearly not thunder, but you just sort of hear it, and in that same instance, Bina, you can feel a ripple of alarm around you, and that immediately cascades into fear. As you look around, you see people who are looking up, and as you look up at the sky, you can see in through kind of some of the gaps in the overcast sky, you can see through the clouds to where very suddenly, where there was not before, there is now in low orbit a huge cruiser.
Stationary or in motion?
It appears to have arrived and is basically like, it is moving, but it's moving very slowly, like it's positioning itself.
Coming down?
No.
How big?
I mean,
would you
it
say?
is coming down, but it's sort of slowing its descent.
Like it's trying, like it's just gonna chill up there,
Mhm.
it seems like.
Yeah.
How big is it? Like, how many people does it look like it could hold?
Actually, Bina might know the answer to that.
Is this like as big? Is this like the capital ship big, or is this
not
like?
it's not like a battleship, but yeah, it is a large cruiser. Like this is hold on. Actually, I can tell you right now. Let me pull up my give me a second. This is a yeah, there's probably a crew of between 200 and 300. And yeah, it's the size, like the cruiser itself is the size of a small skyscraper. It is
Nice.
Cool.
yeah.
Hmm.
More information than that would probably require some kind of roll or something like that, but
I will do that. I
Sure.
want to know what we're up against.
yeah. So this is going to be an intellect task, and the difficulty of that task is going to be 6.
Cool. Bum, 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 bum. Does mechanic give me anything? Backstory mechanic?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. 2. And I get 1 with edge. Edge eats 1.
Okay.
I I don't know if this is gonna help, but I'm gonna pitch it to you anyways. I have an asset to dealings with the corporate cruiser
Okay, it isn't
because
one,
I
so
studied. Okay, I didn't know if it
and
was
that
okay.
was okay, and that is pretty specifically for that was that I are you talking about what you got for the rescue mission?
I'd studied one very
Yeah.
specific type of cruiser
So
very in depth for like
that-
a week, so I was like, I didn't know if I still had that.
I remember telling you that was specifically for the duration of the mission.
That mission.
So yeah.
Cool. Just, I figured to ask. It's still in my
Yeah.
character sheet. Okay.
But even if it wasn't, it wouldn't apply here.
Sweet. Okay. I don't think I have anything else that helps. I haven't touched my intellect yet, so I'm gonna spend one,
Okay.
get down to 2.
Okay.
And then I will roll.
All right, so that's a difficulty 4. No, 2. Difficulty 2.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 2 from mechanic,
And then 2 from
1
effort.
from free edge, and then I spent 1.
Yeah.
So I have 2 left.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Go ahead. You need
6
6 or better.
Come on, dice.
18.
Okay. So this is a what you're seeing. It's hard to make it out fully through the cloud cover, but just from the bits of it that you can see from here, it is a it's not a battleship, but it is definitely sort of a smaller frigate. And that thing probably has that has at least twice the armament of the gunship that you destroyed, quite possibly more if it was modified. It is thick, it has thick armor plating, like that is like thick hull plating. That is a vessel that a pirate should not have. That is like a military grade vessel.
I think Bina just says all of that out loud
Mhm.
as she's like looking at it like Bina vision.
Yeah.
Small frigate, 2 to 300 personnel capacity, armored, highly weaponized.
Shit.
Treya looks up. She says, "Shit, they're here. They're coming back. Just
Military grade.
whenever they send their patrols, they start with that. I think they think."
This is
We
familiar
start
to you.
with this. What comes next?
She looks up. She says, "That," and as she points up, you can see where a couple of dots have detached themselves from the ship, and even from this distance, as you look closer, they start moving into focus to where you can start making out what they are. You are seeing what looked like a couple of dots. As they move closer, you see that that's 2 groups of ships. One of them, in each group, there is a larger vessel surrounded by a bunch of smaller ones.
I'm assuming I still have Ada Sprix on the line, and I'm
Mhm.
just gonna be like, "Did you get all that?" That that's beginning of patrol kind of a thing, and what I said.
Oh yeah, I picked it up. It looks like you've got Awakener sensors are picking up 2 dropships coming down with fighter escort. I think you might have a fight on your hands.
When don't we? What's the plan? I look at my crew.
Okay. From the way I understand the way this town is built, they might have to either climb over the buildings or go through that one passage that we went through earlier, so we can bottleneck them.
Sorry, to be clear, there are multiple ways in. Basically, it's
Yeah.
2 sort of like banks of buildings that there's like an entrance on either side, kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
And then lengthwise through the thing, it's just one avenue. It's not blocked off on either side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What normally happens on patrols? Bina will turn to Treya.
She says, they usually don't send that many. Usually they'll send maybe one drop ship, and they'll antagonize. She kind of gestures over towards a building near the edge where you can see it's like riddled with holes. She says they'll shoot at buildings and things like that for a while, and maybe kick over a few crates and things like that, spread stuff out, take something every once in a while. They'll when they come close to the settlement, they come in and they will occasionally demand food crates or something like that. But
They land, or do they stay? They land. They don't stay airborne.
It's not like we might have to take some out from the air and some on the ground. Looks like there's some drop ships. I'm assuming people are probably going to be landing and coming out of those.
Mm.
Can I have patched in like the major or something? Like so
Yeah.
we're just get Scrapyard
Yeah, yeah,
involved
yeah.
in this,
Yeah.
so they all know what's happening too. Fill them in.
Yeah, you hear the major's voice come in.
Mm.
All right. Copy that. We'll scramble the squadron and get airborne. See if we can't take some of them down as they come down, but I'm gonna guess that's only going to be a temporary solution. We've still got that big thing up there to worry about.
That's the priority, I think.
How far are the little pods of people coming down?
It's difficult to say, but given what you're seeing right now and the speed at which they are approaching, they'll probably be down here in like maybe under 10 minutes.
Okay.
What's the name of the person who's from the town that is walking with us right now?
Treya.
Okay, I'm turning to Treya. Is there a place that civilians can hide or bunker down in when all of this is happening?
We have a safe room in the in the town hall. I'll start scrambling people and getting them safe.
Sounds like a good idea.
Thank you. We'll try to deal with them.
You can feel the obvious kind of fear from her. And from that and the reactions of the other people that you've seen, who many of whom are already heading towards town hall, you're gathering that this is different than what they've seen before. You hear Alma's voice come over comms. Says, "Look, I don't know what you're going to do, but I would recommend not engaging that cruiser. It's got some heavy shielding that honestly my sensors can barely get through it. I don't know that you'd get close before their weapons tore you apart."
God, I wish we had Becker.
That's
something you gotta take out from the inside.
Yeah. I mean, Taylor's going to say that. I think Taylor's literally going to say, like, that's something we need to take on from the inside. But I think for now, we might have to deal with the more immediate threat.
Yeah.
Vix looks up. He says, "They saw us come down here, so they know how many of us there are, including Scrapyard Squadron. I'm judging, if they knew what they were up against, I think they would be sending more than they are. We might be able to bank just on that. If we can surprise them with... I mean, these pirates are bullies. I mean, if we surprise them with a show of force, they'll have to rethink their...
Make them think there's more of us than them.
And a lot of their strategy is built on intimidation, so we have no idea how many there actually are.
Granted, these guys seem like they can back it up, but we can at least give them pause for a little while, buy us some time.
Maybe we can scare them.
Peach, have you ever made an air show before?
You know, I was thinking of something like that.
And I think that's where we're going to go to our break.
Yes, I was also thinking, like...
What a beat.
I was like, well, they're too far away from me to do shit right now, but Peach.
Yeah, I was literally looking through my abilities, like, what would be the best for this? Like...
All right.
Oh, God, and I remember... Okay, this is perfect because Taylor remembers something possibly like this being in the history books.
All right, so we're gonna go to our break. We're going to we'll be right back. We'll be here in about 10 minutes or so. We will see you in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. Hi everybody, welcome back. We are back from our break. we're
Totally did get distracted by talking about meats.
yeah,
and
we
cheese.
Yeah, absolutely not.
yeah, no, absolutely that did not happen. Welcome back everybody.
Not tinned meat though.
Tinned meat.
Well, yeah,
oh
well-
my god.
Tinned meat.
No.
Someone find that clip. It's my favorite clip.
Someone find the tinned meat clip. It's
Oh,
very
no,
good.
Someone has it
sounds
saved.
That is, I
awful.
think,
Isn't that spam?
Caitlin, yes, specifically that. Caitlin,
I'm pretty sure I clicked
yeah, I was
it,
gonna
'cause
say, I was gonna
think it's so
say,
goddamn funny.
you've done a lot of art for this channel, but I think that is truly your greatest contribution to this channel.
Tinned meat.
Clipping the tinned meat.
Oh.
Anyway, welcome back, everybody. So when we left off, a pirate cruiser had, like a frigate basically, had jumped into low orbit, and had released a couple of drop ships with a fighter escort that were, by all accounts, heading directly toward. God, of course, Geek Outs found it immediately.
Mhm.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah. Heroic.
Yeah. So, by all accounts, the dropships and fighters heading toward the settlement. So that was where we left off. As the settlers have begun scrambling, making their way towards, in a frantic but practiced movement, towards the town hall, where they apparently have a safe room. While the rest of you are standing kind of in the center of the town. As you do so, as you're sitting there, Hotshot says, I'm thinking Scrapyard's gonna need me more than you guys do.
Yeah.
Yes, go
All
if
right.
you need to.
And she just turns and just starts running. She just starts like sprinting back in the direction you came.
So, do we think more scrapyard would scare them more? Do we think regulators would put some fear into these pirates? What do you
Ooh.
think?
Okay, here's a
Kind
question.
of saying that also to Mason specifically.
Believe it or not.
As someone who hasn't had many experiences and run-ins with pirates, but she at least was in areas where pirates were prevalent when she was going through. Is there anything that she would know of that people are like, oh, steer clear pirates, travel with XYZ, do I know if they have fear of regulators or
In general, yes, pirates have fear of regulators.
these guys are souped up?
These
so-
guys,
That's what I thought, yeah.
but generally speaking, pirates cannot go toe to toe with regulators. Regulators are one of the most well-equipped armies in the galaxy.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't know that.
Yeah. So regulators are generally one of the most well-equipped forces in the galaxy. Pirates generally cannot go toe to toe. These guys might have a shot. That's the thing. Like, these guys, you're not sure if they would be afraid of regulators or not.
Mm.
Yeah, at the very least, could give them pause.
Yeah. Can we Mason? What would be the beefiest regulator outfitted swarm of ships? Highest end as far as you know. That might be a question for the GM, but Peter's asking Mason.
What's one that I
Yeah.
would have
Yeah.
seen?
Yeah.
We could probably
Yeah, that's true.
space Google
Hold
it.
up. So hold on. So, sorry. So one thing. So what's going on here? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up.
Mason
He's
is
just
going
asking
to.
Mason about the regulators.
Mason's just gonna kind of comb through his previous knowledge of his experience with being in the regulators, knowing the regulators pretty well. What force have the regulators used that was
Probably,
specifically?
it'd probably be a a regulator patrol ship. They tend to be larger and better equipped.
2 regulator patrol ships.
Yeah, that would do it. Maybe, depending on.
Do you think that I don't know if this is something we could do, but could we make them talk to what they think is a regulator and turn to Mason? If I could get the picture, you could get the audio. Maybe we could scare him away from here.
Well, hold on. Are you suggesting I
Impersonate a regulator? Yeah, that's what I'm suggesting.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been there in a long time. I haven't been down that road in a while.
Do you
Sorry,
think
what?
do you think you could do it?
Well, I've never been one who is done very well with deceiving, but I'll try anything once.
I don't know. I think you might be more sly than you think. Can I use some burn ideal to make Mason think that he's tricky? Like he's.
Wait, hold on.
I don't know if that'll work.
Wait a minute now.
I literally just want him to believe.
Wants him to believe in himself.
I mean, here's
Basically,
the thing.
but
I think
sorry, go ahead.
you would be probably better served.
Saving that for.
No, I was gonna say what you're probably looking for here is encouragement.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I can actually also help out with because this is would be a social role.
Oh wait, yeah. Sorry, I went immediately for the deceit. There.
We know.
Encouragement also
Yep.
works.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Never mind. Scrap that. Rewind.
See, because here's the thing. While belief is certainly important,
It doesn't make it good.
it doesn't make you good at that.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I think what you were trying to accomplish would be better served by using encouragement.
Yeah, you're
So-
right. I just wanted to get Mason to believe in himself.
Should we get up in the air? Should we meet them halfway?
How far up are they?
They're rapidly closing. You would not have time to get to the ships before they landed.
If Alma came to get us?
If Alma came to get you, that would make her a target. That would make Awakener a target. It would
That's
make it
fair.
almost
Yeah, gotta
impossible
get
for
her
her to
up.
get close to you.
Yay.
I
Alright,
don't
okay.
think there's a way for us to deal with these dropships and the cruise at the same time. I think the dropships are going to land and people are going to come out with those.
Are they like within a mile, within a quarter mile? Like how rapidly approaching are they? Like
Distance is hard to gauge this way.
I know.
That's
just
why I
have
gave
one
you an
thing
amount
that
of
is-
time that, like,
I know, but I have an ability, and that's
what is the ability? Like, what?
I need a quarter mile.
Quarter mile? They're not that close.
I just want to.
They're not that close.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
The drop ships first, or
I mean, why not both? I mean, if we take out the dropships when they land, it can be a extra sign of force from these regulators that suddenly disappeared and are communicating with the cruiser.
would I have seen these regular ships before? Because I have to have like seen it at least.
I mean, we could probably find schematics
Possibly.
on like a database.
I'm gonna say that you, like, right now you don't have a whole lot of time to do much.
Yeah.
Like,
I
Yeah.
know. That's why I'm asking. Like, I probably would have seen some regulator
I don't know that
ships.
that's true. Like, I don't know that you would
Really?
have necessarily. They don't tend to go, like, they don't.
Different type of places, part of space.
Yeah, they don't tend to go in. Like, you almost never. No, you never find regulators outside of the border worlds. Like, they never go outside of the border worlds.
it would be helpful to have, and it would also be helpful to have it be a regulator ship too, to help sell it. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that was kind of the idea. Well, if we can walk and talk, I think we should do that. I think that if you get me a picture one, I could maybe do it, but I haven't seen one this big.
Can Mason pull up a picture?
Oh yeah, you could do that.
Would
Do we
that
have Wi-Fi?
Are we gonna hack this? Are we gonna hack
Hold
this?
on. Holding up your terminal.
Oh, we got
Man, all
one
these
bar, one
it's
bar.
the
Get on my
trees. I'm not
shoulders,
used to all
I better-
these. I'm not used to all these trees here.
God damn
The
it,
mountains
3G.
are interfering with this.
Damn.
Yeah, no, you can pull up a an image of a regulator patrol ship.
Okay, and how big do you think this is roughly, Mason? I'm gonna kind of eye the sky and
Gosh.
kind
I give some rough estimation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a regulator patrol ship is
Big.
probably about similar size to the frigate, actually. So yeah,
Hmm.
they're roughly equivalent in size.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of. Sorry, this is such an insane idea right
I
now.
love it. I'm obsessed with it.
Me
Okay.
too.
To time this, we should probably get figure out if we can patch into their comms or call them in some way. But I guess,
I think we need Aetasbricks for that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
you're gonna be limited as far as how much you can do with like tech stuff without actually being on Awakener. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Okay.
start moving towards Awakener, and you make a couple ships, and we'll just see if that slows them down. If there are some taking off from the trees and making their way up.
So here's the call that you have to make, right? If you're staying in the settlement, then you're probably not going to be, no, you are definitely not going to make it to the ships before the pirates make it to the settlement. If you start moving towards the ships, the gamble that you're making is that you're going to be able to stop them from getting down, basically, right? Like, if you leave, the settlement is basically without anything. The pirates will just...
See, I say that, like, I think, Peach, if you get some regulator ships that come out of the trees or over the mountain or something, and just get them in front of these ships that are coming in, see if we can put them on pause for a second, and then we kind of decide
Okay.
whether or not it stops them. That'll make our decision for us.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of eye the sky right above, kind of looking at where they're kind of coming towards. How many ships are there?
There's probably about a dozen or so. It's hard to tell, but yeah. Like, between the drop ships and the fighters, yeah, there's probably about a dozen or so.
Okay. Of the pirate ships? Okay. This is a big one. And I'm going to kind of hold out my hands, almost like I'm like kind of releasing something out of my hands into the air. And I'm going to basically try to make it look like as if there are I don't know if I can do this many, but I'm going to try to make it look like there's a dozen of the regular ships, probably not the kind that Mason showed me, because we need smaller ones for that. Like, not going to make 12 huge ships, you know, but kind of the smaller ones. I want them to be coming kind of to get in front of the settlements.
Okay.
Right. That's where they would be coming from.
Yeah.
Is there any way that it can look like they were hidden when they were coming out? Like, is there somewhere they can like swoop down from? Like,
I mean, that's
what I was saying, like out of the trees or over a mountain or something.
They probably have a better vantage point of that than you do.
Okay.
I mean, there is significant cloud cover, so you could theoretically make it look like they're coming down.
Ooh, yes, cool. yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah. All right.
And yeah, kind of like opens her hands and like she's releasing something, and then like tightens her fists, like trying to bring it into the world.
Okay.
And I'm what's the difficulty on this?
Yeah, this is gonna be an intellect task, and the difficulty on this is going to be a 6.
That's not that bad.
Don't say that. Just
Yeah.
I know. Knock on wood.
Be cool.
I'm just trying not to get intimidated by the roll. Question: is our pools replenished from last time?
Nope.
Or no.
Not unless you took a recovery roll.
Oh, if you're gonna take a recovery roll,
would have taken a recovery roll, right?
I mean, you can do the initial. There's like a one you can do as an action,
Yeah.
right? Anyway.
But if you're doing that, you're not doing this.
Okay, no,
Oh,
I'm
that's a
just
good
doing
point.
this. It's fine.
Because that's
So I have a power shift in Dreamcraft. So that's 5. And I free level of effort. So that's down to 4. And I'm gonna spend some effort as well here. So I'm gonna spend I'm gonna spend 3 levels of effort.
So
now it's down to 1.
Okay. All right. So you just need a 3 or better.
Okay. $17.
Okay, cool. So
I was so nervous.
Olivia, take note that for you, your intrusion range has increased.
Oh yeah. What?
Oh.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay.
So just take
Mhm.
note. Yeah, it is.
Was it? Okay, I think I know.
Yeah, it's
what it-
increased 1 step, so it's 1 to 3 now.
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I thought.
Okay.
Cool.
Um,
No comment.
and I am going to offer you a GM intrusion.
I'm gonna take it.
All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you watch as suddenly the clouds seem to part, like with several regulator, like basically like miniature versions of the regulator patrol ships. As that's the reference you have. They're just smaller. The same thing but smaller. They
Yeah.
they come down like out of the clouds almost ominously, with the cloud vapor sort of clinging to the bottom of them as they just emerge from the cloud layer. You watch immediately. There's an immediate effect on the fighters and dropships as they sort of swerve a little bit, almost like unsure of what to do, but can maintain course. And there's a moment as you see they start kind of taking a slightly more roundabout, sort of circuitous path to reaching the settlement. And Vix is looking up, going, "Holy shit! It worked." The words aren't even out of his mouth before all of a sudden you watch the pirate frigate just open up. Just all weapons start blasting at the ships that are coming down out of the cloud layer. Olivia, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe your crafts do not hold up to.
So, yeah. So if they're attacked, the dreams shatter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in like a totally impractically ballsy move, you watch this pirate frigate just unload, like weapons just start firing. And it's actually even more weapons systems, Bina, than you thought there were, than you estimated. Just open up on these regulator ships as they're coming through, and one by one you watch as they're just like ripped apart like so much cloth, just flying to pieces. The shards of them, like of the dream crafted illusions, just sort of flying apart like shattered glass and then fading into nothing. You've bought yourself a little bit of time though, as the dropships had to basically took like a full veer away. So you've bought yourself a little bit of time, but they're still coming.
Okay.
The only thing I can do is provide like a bit of cover for the Scrapyard Squadron when they're ready to go up, but
Yeah.
otherwise I'm useless on the ground until there are people down here.
I don't know how I can help with the cruiser, but I do know I can at least help with what's landing.
Did they get all of them? There were a dozen.
Yeah, no, they're still firing. They are still firing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like basically that is specifically what is buying you time. Like that, as like the pirates, like the dropships, are basically taking like a slightly longer way around, like cautiously.
Mm-hmm.
But you gather that probably won't last long, considering how quickly the illusions are being destroyed as they're coming down through the cloud layer.
We need to head over to the dropships and just nip those in the bud at least.
Dropships are coming.
Yeah.
I don't know what else we could do. We shouldn't stay here per se.
Yeah, no. We probably should start moving. And the town is gonna start running.
Has the squadron lifted off yet, or are they still?
They're you haven't seen them.
Okay.
You can try to contact them if you want.
I do want
Okay.
to. I do want to talk to the major.
Yeah. He responds, We're just doing pre-flights now. We're getting scrambled now. We've got Scrapyard 1 and 3 up in the air right now.
Okay, I can give you guys a little bit of a head start, a little bit of a cover when they go up, but I'll have to tell you to close your eyes for it. I'll give you a heads up when it's coming, but they need to be a little bit closer.
Understood. All right. So, Vix is keeping pace with you, Taeon, and as he turns to you, he says, "They probably won't land in the settlement, so we can if we can maybe predict where they're gonna go."
Can I do some sort of? That wouldn't be anything. Maybe not. I was like, it's ship landing, ship maneuvering, but it might be more tactical. That might be more like.
You can
Literally
tell.
anyone else's bag.
Can I tell from the way they're
this
moving
would
right now?
maybe
where
be
they're
more of a
aiming?
Taeon thing. Yeah, this is more of a Taeon
I was
thing.
like trying to figure out how I could help, and I don't think I can.
I would say, give me just a difficulty 2 intellect task. Intellect roll.
Okay. Hold on. Well, would my intelligence power shift
Yes,
come into play
absolutely.
for this?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So that's going to take that down to a 1.
Okay, cool.
And I rolled a nat 20.
Okay, perfect. So here's what you can see. There is sort of searching your memory for like when you did sort of the pass in Awakener coming down. There's really only one spot on the plateau near enough the settlement that they could land dropships potentially. It's just outside of the settlement, like kind of a little further on the plateau, kind of perpendicular to the direction that you approached from where like Awakener and those, kind of more towards the mountains themselves. And I'll say with your major effect there, I will also say that you will, given that you can get there before they do.
Okay.
Given that you know
In that
exactly
case,
where they're going.
I'll just like as I'm running, I just look to Vic, just follow me. I know exactly where they're landing, and I'm just gonna keep sprinting as fast as I can.
Okay. All right. The rest of you going with?
I'm going with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. So you arrive in sort of sort of like a small river basin on the plateau where you saw that large river that you saw before, kind of flowing down, the one that leads to the falls. You arrive sort of like open grassy meadow to either side. Probably the largest clearing besides the one that the largest clearing on the plateau besides the one that you landed in. There's not a whole lot of cover here, but there are quite a few like large rocks and tree stumps and things like that. So you gather based on the trajectory of the ships, you probably got about maybe 2 minutes before they arrive.
Does it look like from the trajectory that they would see us if we hid right now? Like behind
Probably not
rocks
right now,
or
no.
trees.
They wouldn't
Okay.
see you right now.
Do you want to do an ambush? Just to
Yes.
anything can help right now. Yeah. So I'm assuming we're just gonna like scramble, like hide in different.
Take cover behind. Yeah.
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 I'm gonna take a recovery roll.
Okay, sounds good.
If you do, if I see you that you're like trying to take a breath, Tam's gonna tap you on the shoulder, and I'm gonna use repair flesh, which just means it sounds way cooler, but basically you're not impaired, so it doesn't do anything like that. But when you do a recovery roll, you can add a +2 to whatever it is now.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
As Mason's been like running through the woods, he's been like grabbing up like mud and like wiping it on his face and just like grabbing like random little bits of grubs and just like stuffing it in random places on his body.
Yeah.
Just trying to look more like he can't adapt in the way that he would like to, but he can grab like ferns and bits and pieces and try to like stick them.
Yeah.
Stick a few in his beard. It's like-
Thinking like PETA from the Hunger Games.
Yes.
Paint yourself.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Is it, you add your tier to recovery rolls, right? Is that what it is?
Hmm?
It's
Oh,
like
yes. Yeah.
it's 1d6
Yes,
plus your tier.
correct.
Okay.
I'm gonna also do a recovery roll because I spent a
I
little
mean,
bit
then Ten will
for
also do it to you
pilot.
and give you repair flesh
Oh.
as well. Because my
I spent
edge
some
beats up
intellect
completely,
last
so I can do it
time.
for free.
and I was not looking so hot
Yeah.
there. So.
All right. So, you all, I think you've got a couple minutes. So, ooh, that's much louder than I thought it was going to be. So, given that you've got a couple minutes, I will allow you this moment to sort of try to find some sort of cover. So I think I'm going to require, I will say, either a speed or an intellect roll here for
Let's see.
to hide yourselves and prepare for the ambush. The difficulty on that roll is going to be 3.
Sorry. Okay. Would it power shift and intelligence work for this?
I don't think so. Not in this case.
Yes, fair.
Because I think
Yeah.
it describes it as like knowledge, crafting, and science tasks. I think.
Yeah.
So I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, I only
Okay.
see the three level effort.
Yeah.
Bumped it down to a 2, right? It was
Yeah.
3 originally.
Yeah.
Okay, so bumped down to 2. Okay.
I've got 2 power shifts and dexterity, and I'm skilled at running.
Yeah, I think the dexterity one will help more than the running one.
Oh, I
Well-
also have a power shift and dexterity.
yeah, there you
Hell
go.
yeah.
Never forget. Never forget
So,
dexterity.
but here's the
Oh.
thing. Here's like. No, never mind. Not important. Continue.
Okay.
I rolled a 7,
Okay.
so I just made
Yeah,
it.
you
Okay, so I have it down to a 1.
Okay. 3 or better.
I also have it down to a 1.
I rolled a 16.
Nice.
I rolled a 10.
Nice.
Tasks involving psych, 'cause I'm looking for a place to hide. Because you say you can do intelligence.
Yeah,
That's
no,
an
no, no,
intellect
I-
task.
Yeah. I think think yes. I think that'll work.
Okay, I had nothing
Okay.
because I have a power shift and I have an edge.
Cool.
Not a power shift. Yeah, I have an edge, not a power shift.
Yep. Sounds good.
I'm hiding. I'm hiding.
Everybody has successfully hidden.
Never had a full party successful stealth check
Nope.
before. I usually
Yeah, it's
sound-
weird as well. Yeah.
Hmm.
Good job, everybody.
All right. So,
This is really when we needed it.
Yeah. And also, like Taeyeon, like when he's in his hiding place, he's gonna tap himself and use resonance field, just
Perfect.
to prepare for what's to come.
all right. So, as you
I do want to do something when ships are within range. I do want to send I do want to sunburst at least some of them to dazzle them so that the
Okay.
Skybear squadron gets something.
okay, and that's the thing that you can just make it appear somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So, as the ships are coming in, you do hear over comms the Major's voice saying, "Awakener, we're coming in."
All right, squadron, avert your eyes for give me 10 seconds, and I wanna try to dazzle a couple of the incoming people.
Okay.
Who,
Razzle dazzle.
I know.
All right. So yeah, you guys watch as up above there's just a burst of bright light. Just as dropships are sort of lowering themselves down. You
Beautiful.
can see just this bright light. Like for a second, you can actually dangerously see like some of the dropships sort of waver, like reacting to the sudden burst of bright light. But both of them manage to touch down. And as they do so, immediately following that, you can see you hear the sound of approaching ships as the fighters are flying overhead. You hear the sound of approaching ships. As immediately a strafing run opens up, and the dogfight begins, like as fighters start sort of swarming, as Scrapyard Squadron engages the fighters up above. So let's see.
I want to give them one nice sneak attack. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
Once Bina did, like the moment he saw like Bina was about to do that, Taeyeon like puts on his helmet and like you see his visor like tints over too, so he doesn't get blinded.
Perfect. All right. Well then.
Always pretty.
Oh, what's happening? Nothing. There we go. All right. You can see from your vantage point where you're hidden, the doors to the drop ship, like basically like these large ramps that just sort of come down. and you start immediately seeing, you see like booted feet just started running down the ramp, start running in the direction of the settlement.
How many? Ooh.
Just because I seemingly
How many can we
unaware
see?
of your being there.
How many can we see?
At a quick glance, probably about I would say probably 20 or so.
Oh, so small.
Mhm.
Okay, pretty small.
Yeah,
amount,
there's not many that there's
definitely.
not many that can fit on the drop ships. Like, it's definitely
Yeah.
enough that it would completely overwhelm the settlement. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
so, you see as about 20 or so pirates start making their way out of the drop ships, and start, like, as soon as their boots hit the ground, they start running for the settlement.
Will we get a surprise round
Yeah,
or for being hidden?
yeah. Basically, I'm just
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
So at this point, I'm just gonna say,
We should decide who goes first.
yeah, basically just decide who goes first at this point.
I mean,
Up to you guys.
I
feel
kind of
like-
am looking at Taeyeon and Mason here.
Oh yeah.
I
feel like
think it's
Mason's
an
probably
idea, but
faster.
It doesn't apply to anyone else can go first.
I mean, Mason's just gonna probably start popping off shots if he goes first.
Okay.
Yeah. Do it.
They're close. They're close-ish.
Hold on, I need my.
I'm assuming they're close enough.
Yeah, they definitely are. All of them are within. They're all within short range.
oh, perfect.
Perfect indeed. All right, Mason's just all muddied up, and is going to kind of pulls his firing weapon out and tries to take careful aim and for one of the pirates in front of that's leading the charge.
Go ahead and give me a roll. This
I haven't shot.
Yeah, this would
I
be
haven't
a
shot
speed roll, and the difficulty on this is going to be 3.
Okay, speed. So, could I use dexterity?
Yes, absolutely.
It's been a while since I've done the shooty thing.
Yep.
I haven't, so that brings it down right to a 1.
All right.
I'm not trying to do anything fancy. I'm just trying to like shoot them. Okay.
Sounds
Shoot the
good.
one in front. So 3 or better?
Yep, 3 or better. That's all you need.
I got a 13.
13. As you take a shot, you fire off at one of the pirates leading the charge. That's a medium weapon, correct?
It's a handgun. I don't know if that.
I think we
If
said
that
it was a medium weapon.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You fire at that first guy. He takes that hit right in the shoulder, and he just face down, like, loses his balance, like, as you spin him around, and he lands, like, skidding in the dirt. Like, immediately kind of rolls to the side and starts like lays on his stomach, and you see as the others, like, flavor wise, they all start to kind of like react in turn, but like you still have your so
I mean, I guess Taeyeon will take his move.
okay,
next,
go for it.
And he's just gonna fast step right in front of the closest pirate.
Yeah.
And use, because that's the action, I'm gonna use rapid attack to take an extra action, which is gonna be firing point blank at them.
Yes.
Sounds good. All right. So I think, yeah, okay. The difficulty on this is also going to be 3. It's speed task.
I just do it because I have 2 power shifts in accuracy and 1 power shift in single attack with medium blasters.
Yeah.
So that's 3.
You
So I just shoot
you
them.
just do it. You immediately is your blaster a medium weapon or a light weapon?
Medium, yeah,
Okay.
medium.
Cool. Yeah, those 2, you just fire at them, and just, you said 2, right? That you're attacking 2 different guys, or you're just firing.
If I can, yes.
Yeah.
I would like to attack 2.
Yeah,
if I can,
yeah. You are suddenly, Taeyeon is hiding, and then very suddenly he's right in the middle of everything, and opening up on the pirates, catching 2 of them. Like both of them have to like one of them dives to the ground, like, and the one that's directly in front of you, you catch him in his body armor as he just like as he stumbles back from you, eyes going wide in alarm. All right, who's up next? Beena or Peach?
Beena, do you want to go? I'm looking
Oh, yeah,
at
if you're
something really
thinking, I
quick.
got something. Okay. Is it an action to communicate, or can I do that?
No, you can do
before I
that.
act?
You can do that.
I want to send a text-based message to Ada Sprix and ask if I could get inside one of these dropships and connect my terminal to it. Would we be able to get any information from them? Like,
No, basically a speech to text kind of thing. So you can, I reckon you can ask.
Sorry. So what? Sorry, you're trying.
I want to ask Ada. I'm asking Ada Sprix if I could get into one of these dropships and connect to their computers. Would that be beneficial for us? Because I'm not really a fighter. I don't have a lot of things that are fighty, so I'm trying to get creative here and how to help us in the long run.
There's really only one way to know that for sure, and that's to.
That's just to get in there. All right, let's just get in there. I'm gonna disappear. I'm gonna blend in, and I'm gonna start walking.
Sounds good.
Oh, you mean actually go in there? Oh, whoa!
All right, so
So cool.
they're not,
She's gonna blend in, and I'm just gonna start walking.
and I don't think you don't have to make any rolls for that, right? Yeah. Okay.
No,
didn't think
I
so.
just do
Yeah.
it. I just have to spend for it.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. Y'all lose track of Beena. Just immediately lose track of Beena. All right, Peach, what do you got?
I'm going to kind of reach out probably to the one that's just like last in line. I don't know. And yeah, the one that's kind of closest, the one that's closest to us. And I'm going to reach out and do Dream Thief. So I want to see if I can learn his nature, a portion of its plans, a memory, and so on. So I basically want to try to see if I can get any information on these pirates from this guy.
Okay.
While also doing intellect damage.
Oh,
Cool. All right. Yeah. So go. Let's see. I think.
It's just an intellect spend, so.
Yeah, everything is a spend, but.
Oh yeah.
But there are some things that. Actually, for this, I'm not going to have him oppose this, just because, like, he is fully surprised by everything that is happening right now, and he's not particularly mentally disciplined. So,
yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that as you reach out. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have you make a roll.
Okay.
Regardless, because but it's gonna be a difficulty. It's gonna be a difficulty 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so free level of effort, that means I don't have to roll, right?
That's true. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
So then never mind.
You just want to throw me another intrusion here. I don't.
Listen,
not ready
you are.
for it.
Wait, actually, no. Sorry, scratch that, because I don't think it affects anything. Because I don't think you need to spend anything for that. So, but no. What actually is happening instead is that the intrusion range has kicked up again, another step.
Wait, why?
Because this is what we talked about. Because you're using your powers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't realize it would go up every time.
Yeah,
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm just gonna do that. I want to see if I can get any of his plans.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what you're what you get is, as far as so like basically what is it that it allows you to get?
So it says you learn something the GM chooses to reveal about the creature. So its nature, portions of its plans, a memory, so on. So she's specifically looking to see if there's
perfect.
any.
Okay, yeah. There is. I wouldn't call it a plan specifically, but you do get intent. An intent right now. I'll actually give you this is fairly detailed. But so like essentially, they were always planning on doing this today, but the fact that a group of armed ships made their way past escalated the level of what they were going to do, and now the assumption on the part of the pirates is that the colonists have called for outside help and have already made their decision, and their decision was to resist the corpse. That's the assumption that has been made. And so right now this group is coming down not to deal with all of you or anything like that. They're coming down to attack the settlement.
Oh.
Okay,
Yep.
That guy takes 2 points of intellect damage. Norse armor.
All right, sounds good.
And I'm gonna turn to the rest of the crew, not Bina, because she's not here. Say, we need to hold their attention. They were always planning to ransack this place today, so we need to keep their eyes on us so they don't kill all these people here.
I'm in the middle of the group. Like, I'm literally in the middle.
Oh, well, then I say it to whoever. Yeah, I'll just say it. Oh,
Yeah, sure, I forgot.
All right.
Yeah.
Tam's like, I'm already on it.
I just shout it.
Yeah. So
Got it.
Taeon, from where you were standing, all of a sudden, you didn't see him get there, but suddenly Vix is just standing there, like right basically on the other side of the guy that you just shot point blank range, and you see as Vix just like hands up in sort of like a fighting stance, just sort of reaches out and just 1-2 jabs the guy, like kidney punches to this guy. And you see as he just immediately just like drops down to one knee in front of you, and Vix sort of looks over him at you and just sort of says, "Well,
Okay, I guess you know to carry yourself in a fight.
it looked fun, and it looked fun when you did it." And then he just like turns his back on the guy on the ground and like sort of faces to the others. All right, let's see. Hold on. That's this guy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's not looking good. He's basically like holding his side on the ground, like fully winded. Yeah. All right. So now that we are here in the midst of this situation, we're going to kick into regular initiative, which means Mason goes first.
All right. Holding my ground for the moment. I'm just gonna go on one knee, and I'm gonna pop another shot at another pirate, and hopefully to do a little bit more damage.
All the same stuff applies, so it's still gonna be a difficulty 1 unless you want to spend.
No, I think I'm good with
Okay,
that.
sounds good.
14.
14. Yeah, you are you aiming at one of the same guy?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, you fire off, and as he is basically like he dropped to the ground, like as you spun him around, he went down, rolled over onto his stomach, and like pulled up a weapon and like to sort of aim, trying to sight where the shot came from. And as soon as he's like aiming, and then another shot just like catches him right in the crook of his neck, and he just goes limp. He just goes down. So that's one of them down. So yeah, Mason, you just sort of take that shot and from behind cover.
Is there another piece of cover I could move up to?
Oh yeah, totally.
I'm going to advance a little bit.
Sounds good. Yeah, so Mason firing off a shot and immediately like rushing towards another one of like a boulder nearby as you just sort of dart behind it.
Can't stay in one place for more than a couple of shots.
Yeah. All right. So, hold on a second. Sorry, I'm doing quick math here. Okay, so that's... so yeah, they're all going to, attack, so the way that I think I'm going to do this is just increase the level of their attack so that your defense rolls are going to be higher, because there's a bunch of them. There's 19 of them. So they're all going to open fire, and so the difficulty right now, it's going to be let me just make sure. So the difficulty on this, as they basically just sort of start firing. Oh, actually, let me get a bit of sound going here. They all just start opening up. I need Taeyeon, Mason.
I would probably still be in cover because I didn't
Right,
need to
yeah.
come out to do that.
I think I need Taeyeon and Mason to make speed defense rolls. The difficulty of which are going to be 8.
Okay.
Bina, I actually need you to make one too, but the difficulty's lower because they're not aiming at you. You just happen to be there.
I just there
Yeah.
also, yeah.
You're just there. So, but yours is going to be lower. So yours is
Okay.
going to actually just be a difficulty 4.
Okay.
Okay, so how many of these are currently in short range of me right now?
There's they're all within short range of you. All of them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So in that case, because of resonance field, it's an intellect roll instead for me.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
And that's way better for me. Okay, so I have training intellect defense, got power shift.
I forgot I have a shield. It is on my arm all the time. We haven't been in
That-
combat in so long.
Yeah.
Distortion. Okay, I got it down to so I got defense. I got intellect defense. I'm trained in intellect defense. I've got power shift in intellect defense.
Cool.
And also because of distortion, I bumped down my defense rolls down by 1.
Okay. So
So I got it down to 5.
yeah, sounds like it. Yeah.
I think that's as far as I can go.
Okay.
I think.
And that's without spending effort.
Yeah, without
Okay.
spending effort. I might spend effort. I mean, yeah, I got a 3 level of effort, so I must do that. I'm gonna spend effort, so down to 4.
Okay. Sounds good. So you just need a 12 or better.
Roll a 13.
Yes!
Just barely made it.
Alright.
Barely scraping by.
It's on
So
by.
we'll get to that in a second. I want to see what the other two roll. So Mason, what do you got?
Mason goes and so I'm
It is fast.
trained in speed defense tasks.
Sounds good.
I have 2 power shifts and dexterity.
Yep.
That brings it down to a.
Brings it down to a 5, I
hold
think.
on, 5. And does my skilled in running work?
Yes,
'Cause I'm running?
absolutely.
I'm skilled in running.
Are you specialized in that? I think you are, right?
Oh, I mean specialized. Yeah, I'm specialized
So that
in it.
brings
Sorry.
it,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
brings it down to
Three
3.
Yeah. Oh, and can I kind of like use assessing danger, like kind of seeing where? I don't know if this kind of works. I'm just pitching it. Assessing danger is just a skill I have. I don't know if maybe I can assess where maybe the best place to run because I'm kind of like doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's important. You're using your physical body and your mind to sort of
And
like
my mind is like to like speedily figure
Yeah.
out what is the best place to not get shot.
yeah, absolutely. So that's down to a 2 now, right? You're trained in that.
I'm just
Okay,
trained
so
in
yeah,
that.
down to a 2. So you just need a 6
I
or
don't know
better.
if jumping could work too. Can I jump?
I love that.
I picked these
There's a
very
whole-
random
that's
skills.
a whole
early.
third
Please let it
dimension you
use-
can dodge it.
please
I mean,
You know what? Fuck it. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down to
Okay.
1.
Yeah.
Hell
so
yeah.
you just need a 3 or better.
I'm running, jumping, and oh gosh, I love this. Okay, all right, here we go. Here we go.
Zigzagging. Like nobody's
Zigzag.
business.
I rolled an 8.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
Oh.
So, and then Bina.
I'm bad at these. Okay, so one great thing
Oh,
is
no.
I have a shield
can't
on my
see
arm
Yeah.
all the time. So it's a hollow
Yep.
shield. So she's got that up and it gives me 1 asset.
Yeah.
To defense stats.
True. Yep. So that's
Okay.
down to a 3 now.
Down to a
Okay.
3. Okay. Okay. Hear me out.
Okay.
Tasks that involve sight. I can see them and they can't see me, and so like I can see. I'm in the middle of them and I can see them.
You know
coming.
what? Not only that, I think yeah, you absolutely, because you would be able to see where people are aiming and not be there.
'Cause I don't have I'm not like hiding.
Yeah.
Then that's all of it.
So that's the whole thing. You just okay. So cool. So
It's the only defense task I've ever done
all
well
right,
at.
cool. So Taeyeon, what does this look like as they open fire? and you being one of the one of 2 targets that they can see clearly out in the open. What does it look like as they open fire on you?
So basically, as I think a moment Taeyeon like vamped, he basically just teleport appeared in front of them. He's been kind of like almost irradiating and glowing this kind of energy that you see that from his core, like a greenish purplish kind of like aurora around him. And as he's moving, as he moves, like there's an after image of him in that kind of color as he's like literally just dipping and weaving, almost like, I think the best I can think of it is Muhammad Ali in the boxing ring, just ducking and weaving as the beams go past him. Barely moving his feet, like he's staying in his place, but just avoiding the shots coming for him.
Yeah, you watch as like their blasts, like you can see as the tracers fire through some of those after images, basically shooting places where like you aren't, but like sort of like this sort of mirage-like separation. Mason, what you're just running and dodging through the field, right?
Yeah, running and dodging, and there's a boulder in front of me that Mason kind of like rolls over instead of like trying to jump or leap over. He kind of just rolls over.
As you're running, your mind is going and you're watching where like they're shooting and aiming, and you're able to sort of like anticipate where they're shooting. Like weirdly, like a combination of your superhuman speed and your understanding of being able to assess danger are like basically running in tandem as your brain is actually like moving, making these calculations faster, being able to like anticipate where they're gonna go. So you're like running, dodging, jumping over boulders and stuff like that, and then suddenly stopping as blasts go past you in front of you, and then just jumping into it like a forward dive roll as more like blasts fire where you stopped.
Oh, absolutely, the dive roll.
Bina, you're just sort of like, oh, okay. At one point,
So cute.
at one point, one of the blasts like deflects off of the shield that you have in front of you. Just
And then she just keeps moving.
Yep.
One of the guys are like, why did my
Like
shot just
it's more like he sees you and goes like you can see momentary confusion before his attention is just goes right back to like away from you. He's just like, wait, what? Where did? Whatever, and then just like fires like his attention just completely slides off of you. All right, and you watch also as Vix just dives like flat to the ground and just like army crawls like through the grass. He's just,
Love that.
Sick.
yeah.
He didn't get hit either.
So here's the thing. It counts as a hit, but like he didn't actually get hit. Basically, it's more like he'd expend from his pools essentially to have to like get away from it. So like
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So in terms of the attack, it does like mechanically it hit him, but like flavor wise, it's that he had to expend extra energy to like get out of the way.
Okay. Scuttle into the grass.
Yeah. So that's their turn, which makes it up to y'all to decide who's next, other than Mason, because Mason already went.
I'm
Okay,
just running
Mason-
to the ship. That's my only. I just want
Okay.
to get onto the ship.
Easy enough to do. You can move a short range, which is a short distance, as an
Yeah, I don't
action,
think I can
so.
fuck around in the ship, or
Yeah.
if I'll even
So-
get there now. But like, I probably have to only
So yeah,
run to the ship.
you basically thread your way through like the battlefield, and like just sort of casually walk up onto one of the closest dropship. Inside, you can see where there is still like there's a pilot up at the front in the cockpit, but the engines are still running basically, and yeah, he's I think there's probably a pilot and a co-pilot in the dropship. So yeah. But yeah, so who else?
Taeyeon's just gonna keep firing. He's gonna again, like if he's already in like immediate range of anyone, he'll fire on them. If not, he's gonna like move to immediate range so he can get right up close to them.
Okay.
And again, just fire at them.
All right, go ahead and give me a roll, a speed roll. Difficulty is 3 still.
I can bump it all the way down to 0,
Perfect.
but I'm gonna roll it anyway, just
Okay.
in case. I'm gonna tempt fate.
Great. Love that.
That's a
15.
15? All right.
15.
Yeah. You're just firing once, or?
I'm gonna fire
Okay.
twice. Yeah, I'm gonna fire again. If they're still up, I'll just fire them
All right.
again right afterwards.
Yeah.
And I can bring that down to 0 again.
Yeah, you.
And still gonna roll. 10.
Okay. Yeah, you fire again. This time. This time. Just dropping a couple of them as they just go down. Taking a moment to sort of, as you're like, the way I imagine this is like you're that sort of after image thing happening and you're just sort of like firing. It almost for like a split second after the blast leaves your blaster, it looks like there's multiple blasts coming out at the same time and they sort of solidify into one and then just
Into one, yeah. It's like a probability wave, and then it just decides where it finally
exactly.
is.
You drop two of the pirates to go down. Peach.
How many of them have been knocked out at this point?
3 of them are down, and one of them is pretty probably not going to be much use in the fight anymore.
Okay.
So there's basically
do
still
any
like 15 of them.
Do they all look like they're the same rank, or do any of them look like they're more like?
You know
higher
what?
rank,
There
or-
does. Okay, so for the most part, you're seeing a lot of Terrans, Keldro, and 1 or 2 the odd Nelfin in there. But you do see there is a Ractid who is sort of one of the arachnid humanoids who is better armored, just sort of, and keeping back from some of them, keeping back from like the main fray. You can see he's was the last to disembark the further dropship, and he's still sort of near it. You can, given just sort of his bearing and demeanor and the fact that he is not engaged like the rest of them have, you're gathering that this is sort of the one who's kind of in command.
Okay. And I would probably be closest to him too, right? Because we kind of got up closer to where the dropship was, or
he's the one who
how far?
He's at the further dropship, so he's probably further away from you. But still, everything here is within a short range. Everything here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So Peach is a little pissed off. She's heard this plan that they were gonna come and wreck these guys already, which does not sit right.
Okay, just to clarify, they were coming down to do what they regularly do, which is intimidation. They came down to wreck things because by seeing you guys break through, they assumed that the settlers had called for help.
Okay, well,
So
just still mad about that. Just all of this is scummy. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of eye the Ractid over there, and I'm gonna turn to him and I'm gonna. Can he hear me at this distance?
Probably not over the fighting.
Would he still be able to understand me?
No?
Damn it. Okay. Then I don't. Damn it. Okay. Because I was gonna do an ability that specifically has to have a target understand me.
This is why I left, man. I keep
Yeah, no, not
talk to
over
people
the
here.
sound of combat. Like, he's not going to be able to hear you or understand you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do something else then. I am going to go ahead and just make a. I'm gonna do dream becomes reality, and I'm gonna make like a really as big a rock as big as myself, because I can only make it my size or smaller, like a big boulder that's the size of me, and I'm gonna drop it onto one of the guys. So literally from thin air, you just see like a rock that's about my size, just like a really ball, and
That's incredible.
Really
Is
funky
that a-
shillelagh spell.
like
totally crushed.
Like a
This does damage, right? Like, this
a
is-
large boulder the size of a large boulder.
Well, I don't have a specific damage for it, but I can create objects that take on
okay.
the substance weight of their own.
That's fair.
Like, of
I'm gonna count it
objects.
as a heavy weapon then, because
Yeah, no,
a
no.
person-sized
Yeah, yeah.
boulder is that's a lot.
It says I can make it my size or
Yeah.
smaller.
So like, yeah, making it your size is definitely gonna count as a heavy weapon here.
Yep.
So I'm gonna have you make this is gonna be an intellect roll, and the because basically what you're doing is just like sort of gauging and aiming basically where to drop. So it's an intellect roll. The difficulty is 3. I think you'll have no problem with that.
Yeah, free level of effort, and then Dreamcraft.
Yep.
Which is what this
Yeah.
is essentially. And so it's a 1.
Yeah, difficulty 1 right now.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a level, and I am gonna spend 1 level
Okay.
on it. But I just want
Okay.
to do it.
Complication range, or the difficulty, or the intrusion range goes up again. So right now,
Okay.
just to be clear,
Oh, no.
goodness.
intrusions on 9 or lower.
Yeah, I've been counting.
Wait, for everyone?
No,
or
just for
for
me.
This is
Just for me.
just for me.
Okay, cool. Wait, how does it run out? I don't know what's going on.
So I don't have to roll.
Nope, you don't have to roll. I will say though that if the intrusion range gets up like to a 10 basically, like it will just happen. Like there will just be an intrusion, and even if you don't have to roll. Right now,
Wait,
yeah,
really?
right now you're avoiding them because you haven't had to roll at all.
Yeah.
So like the intrusion range is going up, but you're not having to roll, so you don't have to worry about it while you don't have to roll.
So if I don't have to roll, then there's no chance for an intrusion. But if I do have to roll,
Essentially, yes. Up until
like okay.
yeah, up until the point where
Okay.
like it becomes like it would be 20.
Okay, we'll worry
yeah.
about that when we get
Yeah.
there. Let's keep
Okay,
going.
cool.
It's a problem for future me.
So then, in that
boy.
case, you'll watch as a huge boulder just falls on a pirate. I'm imagining as he's like turning and sees Vix like crawling through the grass. Vix looks up and he like turns to aim, and the boulder just smashes on top of him out of nowhere. He's gone because he has a boulder on top of him. He's not like out of commission, but he has a boulder on top of him. So
Yeah.
so like you didn't drop him to 0 or anything like that, but again, he has a boulder on top of him.
Did the boulder appearing from thin air and crushing one of their companions like scare them at all? It was kind of an intimidation factor.
The boulder. No, okay.
I'm gonna say no for the purposes of this.
Damn.
That's sort of the kind of thing that you would have to roll and get it like a minor or major effect for.
Okay.
But you have effective.
I don't know. I'd be intimidated if my friend got crushed by a boulder.
Sure,
right behind me.
if that was the only thing happening, then yes. But there is a full-on battle taking place.
Fair.
All right. So, Vix pops up from the ground, and just like runs and just tackles a guy. just full on tackles the guy, and is basically like then just sort of starts engaging like hand to hand on the ground, like as the two of them like wrestling for a weapon. All right. Which brings us back to Mason. As we come
Hey.
back over to Mason, you're what you doing?
How close are these pirate scum to me? Are they within a short distance,
absolutely.
perhaps?
Yeah, they're probably at this point, given your movement in the last round, there are probably a few of them that are within an immediate distance of you.
Right. I'm going to spend 4 might,
Mhm.
and I'm going to run up to one of these, and I'm going to, with this hand, it's got the gun in it, and the other hand comes around and turns into this power fist, and I'm going to inflict 2 additional points of damage
Okay, so
with my melee, with my
yeah,
fist.
so the difficulty is 3. I sort of don't think you need. Well,
Because we treat the
yeah,
okay.
this is treated as a medium weapon or medium or
Mhm.
yeah. So that, and
Yeah,
you're
I'm gonna
trained
treat it
in,
as the latter.
You're trained in that. So yeah, you're yeah.
And I'm trained in hand to hand. I think those are
trained in
two
both of those?
the same thing.
Medium.
In what? Sorry.
I was just gonna say.
Oh yeah. I'm trained without weapons and I'm
Oh,
also
great,
without
yeah.
weapons, so that's different, I think.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think they still helps.
Okay.
And so, I don't think I need to roll at all.
Yeah, I don't think you do.
No need for weapons. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to run up and I'm going to.
Yeah. So you run up and with your much denser fist, you rush up and slam a guy right in the chest, and you can hear the as the air goes out of his lungs, and he just you launch him off the ground, and he just sort of does a backflip and lands sprawled on the ground.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right.
I want to kind of just yell out in like a rah! That's someone like Mason, but he's just the adrenaline is
Yeah.
just pumping through him
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, he just fell sprawled on the ground and is not moving.
That is my action.
All right. So the nice thing about that is that since a significant number of them have been taken down, the difficulty to avoid their attacks is lower than it was before. It's not as many of them shooting at you. So that brings the difficulty. I need just Mason and Tan, and actually, I think at this point, Peach, you would have had to come out in order of hiding in order to do what you did.
Do it in long range. I could have done it from a bush.
That's fair. Yeah, sure. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna make it a much lower difficulty for you because you're still behind cover and shit.
Okay.
And, they're not
Yeah,
specific.
that sounds good. I mean, I might still get hit by a stray
Yeah, exactly.
one,
They're not
too, so,
specifically
yeah.
aiming at you, but there is a lot of weapons fire happening. So
It's like what was happening with me.
Yeah.
Where, they didn't know it was there, but I still could have gotten
yeah.
hit. Yeah.
So Mason and Tan, I need you to make a speed defense roll, the difficulty of which will now be. It'll now be. Is that true? Yeah, the difficulty is 5 now.
Perfect. Okay. Again, because of my resonance field, I roll intellect defense instead. So I'm trained in intellect defense. I've got a power shift intellect defense, and because distortion it goes down by 1 as well. So that brings it down to 2.
Yeah.
And I've got a 3 level of effort, so I'm going to bring it down to a 1.
Perfect.
I'm gonna roll.
Sorry, I'm just I need to look at something here real fast.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool. I rolled a 19,
Excellent.
and because of that,
You get a minor effect.
because of resonance fields, yes, and I can use my minor effect to inflict damage on them for shooting.
Oh, cool.
Because of resonance fields. So,
Nice.
if you do
So
so and you
cool.
get a minor effect, the creature attacking you takes 1 point of damage.
Okay.
So what kind of happens is that when I'm hit, I think he dodges most of them, but then one of them hits his shoulder. But if anyone sees it, kind of stop an inch before and hit something that kind of looks like a crystal, and it kind of just bursts. And anyone that's seen him use resonance field before, you know that the crystals kind of reflect different versions of different past, present, or future of whoever's looking in it. So I think what happens is that person that shot me, they just suddenly get a shot on the arm. And when they look, it's like an old scar, they got shot about a week ago, and it's from their gun for some reason. They don't remember how it happened, but they got hit in the past by their own bullet, basically.
Oh, it's so cool.
Ooh. All right. Yeah. So hold on. Yeah, this guy is a little bit damaged now, thanks to that. Perfect.
Oh yeah, I get to.
Okay. Yeah.
All the same stuff applies.
So I think,
or is it different?
yeah, it's all the same stuff. So I actually think,
Then I'm
yeah,
definitely.
you don't need to roll here.
I will
Okay.
though, because you never know.
Yeah.
17.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, Mason, you just dodge and weave continually out of the way. I imagine at one point it's even dodging right next to one of them and like going ha ha ha, like so that they're not shooting their own guy, and then you like shove him and run. Yeah,
Do like a roll over someone's back.
basically what I'm seeing, what I'm imagining here is Mason is not really darting between cover anymore. You're just darting around the battlefield faster than they can track you.
I'm using them as
Yeah.
cover in a weird way too.
Yeah, because basically, as long as you're out here, they can shoot you without any consequences. But if you're in the
Right,
middle of
right.
them, they have to like aim carefully, or else they're gonna shoot their own people. So,
Friendly fire
Yeah.
is not tolerated.
all right. And Peach, your difficulty on this one. Sorry, I didn't actually get to that. Your difficulty on this is 3.
Okay. Dexterity power shifts?
Yeah, absolutely.
That works? Okay. And then I have training in speed defense.
Perfect.
So it's
1. Yeah, you just need a 3 or better.
9.
Okay, so you managed. So that is a GM intrusion.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
So
know.
you managed to like drop down as like a barrage of fire starts kind of tearing through where you're taking cover, and like none of it hits you, and as you are as you're laying there, for a moment you start hearing these sort of like just whispers, just around you, and you find yourself suddenly not present. Like you're aware of the battle going on around you vaguely, but you aren't there. Yeah, you basically are like pulled out, like you're kind of out of commission for the round at this point, as you sort of separate from yourself. Still vaguely aware of the sounds of combat around you, but you find yourself, you're not standing in that white room, but you recognize this sensation as similar.
Sounds.
Yeah, you recognize yourself, the sensation is similar to when you are like face to face with the artifact, and gazing deeply within it. So that will, however, reset your intrusion range back to normal.
Yay!
So yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
All right. Well, now, anybody but Mason, it's your turn. But Mason and Peach, it is your turn.
Does Zena want to do anything?
You can go for it. You go first, and I feel like mine's gonna be a little complicated.
Okay. Well, Taeyeon seen that there are a decent amount of people, and you probably want to do this quickly. He's gonna he kind of like under his breath. I mean, no, he doesn't really care. He doesn't want to say under his breath. He just says it out loud. He kind of just says I think it's gonna be like throwback maneuver, and then on his computer on his computer wrist computer, like a timer of 10 seconds appears, and he's just gonna reach out again and like basically tear through space time to pull himself from the future in, and he's gonna use time loop to put his time doppelganger in.
All right. Suddenly there are 2 Taeons standing in the field, weapons trained on the enemies.
And
Sick.
they're in, it's ridiculous how in sync they are. The moment he pulls him in, pulls himself in. The moment he pulls Taeyeon 2 in, 2 on. The moment he pulls 2 on,
2 on.
he has his medium blast in his other hand. He just fires at the nearest pirate as he pulls in. And even 2 on comes through like the rift that he pulled through and fires immediately as well.
Okay.
At that same.
All right.
That same.
Go ahead and roll. Actually, the difficulty is lower because I think you're working in concert, so the difficulty is lower. The difficulty is 2.
Well, we both. Yeah. We both just don't need to roll, but we're both gonna roll anyway.
Perfect.
I
love that.
Nat 20.
You can use that major effect to make another attack if you want to.
fucking roll.
Or you could
I
take
mean,
extra
okay,
damage,
I'm
or you
gonna-
could do extra damage if you wanted. But
I'll do extra damage.
I'll
and,
actually
the
tell you what. I'm gonna tell you
second-
this right now. The extra damage will not matter. So I will say if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'll just aim for another person.
Okay.
I guess then. I'll just and
So that's 3 attacks
yeah,
in total,
and,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I still have my rapid attack.
Yeah.
So and you said so each Taeyon, so Tion and Taeyon both use their rapid attack to
Okay.
shoot. And again that narrows it lowers it down to 0, but I'm gonna roll it anyway because I'm gonna fish for these 20s.
Do it.
19
That's a minor effect.
and 14 for the second
Okay.
one. So a 19 for
I
mine.
want whatever dice you're using.
All right.
It's the dice tray.
What do you want? Do you have anything in mind that you would like to do with your minor effect?
What is it? It's like stunning or anything like that. Or can I make everyone like focus on me?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Like specifically. Yeah. That'll be mine.
Sounds good. So, I just want you to know that in a single turn, Taeyon just reaches like aims both versions of Taeyon just aim, and in basically like a single a couple blaster bursts just levels like 5 of them just go down.
And it's like it's in perfect unison. Like he's like Tion like rolls over Taeyon's back to get the one that's just about behind Taeyon. Like it's like ballet.
Yeah.
Like it's beautiful.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm picturing like
You can
if
definitely tell like Taeyon's in
if
his
you've ever
zone
seen
right now.
Equilibrium, it's like the guys in that like they have their very like practiced poses that they like fire like their guns. And
Yeah.
it's very like almost mechanical, just sort of like right, like that kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. All right. Well,
In a ship.
yeah, in the ship, Vina, what do you got?
What? Okay, are there computers or are they only would there only like systems be up in the front?
They'd be
with
up in the front because
pilot
basically the
pilot?
dropship is literally just like a hold for like the passengers and the cockpit, and that's it.
Correct. Okay. I wouldn't have access to any engine stuff from here. I'd have to find that probably.
Yeah, that's under deck plating basically. Like you'd have to lift deck plates.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go as far back in the ship as I can. If there's any like paneling or a wall or an outcropping or anything that I can stick myself behind, so I can still see the
Yeah.
pilots. And I'm going. This is so stupid. Oh, why are there have to be 2 of them? I'm going to. I'm gonna burning light the pilot. So she kind of starts to like glow a little bit in the back, and then she just kind of puts her hands out and like presses them together, like she's compressing all of the light together, and it starts to form like a flashlight beam, and then it kind of turns into like really concentrated, and then it's a blast, and it's gonna and then tuck herself back in behind an outcropping. So it's I have to roll to hit, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but I don't know what that would be for they're not
It's
looking
a
at that
difficult. It's a difficulty 2, but
Okay.
and I don't think you get anything from them not expecting it because there is a battle taking place,
No.
so they're like alert,
Yeah.
but they're not like directly watching you.
Oh, it's 2.
Yeah, difficulty is 2.
I have 2 power ships in burning light.
You can because the power shifts work like effort, you can choose to apply it to damage as well. It's up to you.
That's true. No, I just want to do it. I'm not good at fighting. I just want
Okay.
to do it.
So sounds good. So yeah.
And it's 5 damage.
Okay. So you. Oh, it's 5 damage. Okay. Well, then it didn't actually matter. So.
So she just hides and then she hides again.
Yeah, you just fire off this beam of light, catching the pilot, who just like, at first nothing happens, like for just half a second, and then you see as she stands up suddenly, like her armor, like not the same, like not nearly as armored as the pirates outside, but you can see it just like bursts into flame, and she just starts removing it and just like throwing it on the ground, like unclipping stuff, and then after a while is unable to do it fast enough and just like fully like stop, drop, and roll kind of thing, as she just like is trying to put out this fire. The other one like stands up and is like looking horrified and alarmed at what is happening. Okay.
This is so stupid. That was awesome. I don't know what you're talking about.
Basically, just with that blast, the pilot is done. Like, she's out of the fight entirely. Okay, so I think that was So basically, like, so Mason, as you dart through the field and whatever, trying to avoid their fire, what are you doing? Freeman, I think you might be muted.
I am going to shooty.
Sounds good.
Another one.
All right. Go ahead and give me it's difficulty 3 still.
Okay. And it's is it speed?
Yeah.
Okay. Dexterity, power shift, brings it down to 1. I'll roll 3 or better.
I know I've been doing it this time, but I feel like the dexterity power shift doesn't actually go into attacks. I think that is specifically for like initiative and intellect and speed defense.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
It's for movement, initiative, and
Yeah,
That makes sense.
So that actually
makes
won't help you
that
here
makes sense.
in terms of attack.
I think accuracy.
That's right.
Yeah, accuracy is the
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
accuracies. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't have that, so I'm actually not any good really with weapons, but I'm gonna shoot anyway.
Okay. Sounds good. You're trained. You have training, and I think unless you spend effort, that'll just bring it down to a difficulty 2.
Okay. I will do that. I'll just difficulty 2.
Okay, sounds good. Then you just need a 6 or better.
I ain't scared. I should have been. Oh wait, 6. 6.
So Mason, as you're darting around, you pause to look around for like somebody who you can kind of make use of an opening in their defense, and you hear sort of the crunch of ground behind you, and you just whirl around, like your coat sort of like whirling out behind you as you just sort of fire, like dropping down to one knee, firing at one of the pirates who was just leveling a weapon at you, and as you open up, he goes down. Like you catch him full in the chest, and he just weapon falls to the ground, and then he does right shortly after. All right. Then in that case, they've been significantly reduced to the point where like they are only attacking at a difficulty. They're only attacking at a difficulty 4 at this point. Is that true? No, sorry, 3. Difficulty 3 at this point. But here's the thing. Taeyeon did specifically say that he wanted them to get their attention. So here's what's gonna happen. Mason, nobody else has to make any rolls here. But Taeyeon, you're going to have to make a difficulty. You're gonna have to. Hold on. Yeah, you're going to have to make a difficulty 5 defense roll here.
And I have to do that twice because Taeyeon and
true,
Tion
yeah.
kind of separate people.
That's right.
Okay, cool. So again, because of resonance field, it's an intellect defense roll for me instead. So I'm trained in intellect defense. I've got a power shift to intellect defense, and so distortion goes down. My defense roll's going by 1, so that's 2. Now just go 2.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. think that's everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just need a 6 or better.
Ooh. So Taeyeon got 8, but and T1 got 6. So just made it.
All right, yeah. So, what does that look like? I'm curious what this looks like as they all open fire on the two of you.
I think so. I think Taeyeon. How would you notice Taeyeon? I think the main way you would notice is your present Taeyeon is because the time on his computer wristwatch is like ticking down, whereas T1 doesn't have anything on his display, and I think Taeyeon's dodging it pretty easily, and then I think he dodges and sees that it was gonna hit T1 behind him, so he kind of like he just basically grabs T1 and pulls him down, and that's how T1 just barely managed to avoid the blast.
Cool.
And T1's like, oh, I should have remembered that happening again.
All right, cool. All right. Then now, anybody but Mason can feel free to do something. Peach, as you find yourself just like in that space, and then you just sort of come back to yourself.
I kind of shaken. She's gonna look to whichever guy is closest to her, probably, and looking for something kind of simple to do. She's going to just reach out and just go to sleep. Go to sleep. And she's gonna knock him out. She's gonna just send a strong nap time message.
Cool. The difficulty on that's gonna be 3. Do you even need to roll? I sort of don't think you do.
Power. I think
Maybe
I
you do, yeah.
need to roll, actually. Because I don't have a power shift in
Okay,
that.
yeah,
so...
that's right. This is difficulty 3, intellect task.
Yeah. So free level effort, and then I'm just gonna roll.
Okay, sounds good.
So I just need a 6 or better. I rolled an 8.
Okay, cool. And the intrusion range once again goes up, so you're at 3 or lower now. So yeah, one of the guys, one of the pirates out in the field, turns and takes aim at Mason, and then just kind of sways in place, and then just sort of slowly like goes down to one knee, and then just topples over and is asleep on the ground.
Hey, thanks.
Don't mention it.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, Taeyeon or Bina.
Go for it.
Mine is very quick because of what happens next to the time loop. So Taeyeon's timer hits 0 and he just beeps, and he just kind of like, if anyone's within earshot or through the comms, he's gonna be like, I'll be back in like 6 seconds. T1 like just basically almost vanishes in like a puff of like the energy that he usually radiates.
I like the idea that
and you just
he suddenly becomes that kind of energy and is absorbed into your sort of aurora.
Back into me.
Yeah,
and then you just see Taeyeon's hand from out of nowhere reach out and grab Taeyeon and pull him through a rift, and he just disappears.
All right, so Taeyeon's gone. Bina, you are currently in the dropship with the pilot down, and the co-pilot is like looking around and has at this point definitely seen you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. I would like you to also be on fire, though. I would do the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. It's
Bina's in combat alone, and she is like, just go away. I want to do Bina things.
and I think you don't have to roll, correct? Okay.
Oh, I could just do it. Wait, I might, because the first one went and it was like clearly just caught the armor. I think I'm gonna try to do. Since she's done it once, I think that is enough of an excuse to put them into damage.
Okay.
Tasks involving sight.
You know what? Yeah, you're aiming, so like just that blast of light Yeah, Bina just like I'm picturing this situation as like both of you are like equally panicked, looking down at this, and Bina's like, ah! Just the blast of light catches him full in the chest, and he slams back.
7
He just
points.
goes back, slams into the canopy, and then just falls unconscious to the ground. Like you just blasted him off of his feet.
Oh, Bina, she's scared shitless.
From outside, you just see 2 consecutive like sudden flares of light from outside of the dropship.
Love it.
It's my turn.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute myself now.
Mason, I'm gonna offer you a GM intrusion at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me.
Yeah. So as you sort of turn, there's only there's 9 of them left. You hear a voice kind of ring out above the rest, and you glance around to see where it's coming from. You can see the Ractid is basically like standing at the entrance to the airship, and you hear as his voice just yells out, "That's enough! I've seen enough! Everybody retreat to the dropship!" And you see as the rest of them just sort of like they confusedly kind of glance around, but all just start like backing off, sort of a kind of less than tactical retreat back to the dropship. Not the one that Bina's on, the other one.
Okay, well, I
but that
told
would have been funny.
I mean, some of them might. That's the thing.
I would.
Like, so yeah, there are probably
I think that's fun.
So a few of them make like a good number of them start making their way. The ones that are closer to the other dropship start making their way back to that one. And you see a couple, like just a pair of the pirates that are closest to the one that Bina's on. So Bina, you just like finished doing this and have like reached the controls to the dropship, and you can hear like booted feet on the deck plates behind you as these 2 pirates start backing up onto the ramp. It is Mason's turn right now. So
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I don't know. I'm gonna shoot. Okay, this is just great. I'm gonna shoot the ones that are. Gosh, I have no clue. This is crazy. I'm gonna shoot. I don't know where Bina is, but
I think you have a pretty solid idea considering you just saw 2 bright flashes come from inside one of the dropships.
Oh, I did. You're
Yeah,
right.
that's a big hint, I think. For us.
All right,
You
given
can
that,
assume
you're right.
that is where Bina is.
I will absolutely. Okay. All right. And then I see the pirates heading that direction. I want to shoot those
Okay,
pirates.
sounds good. Go ahead and make this is still difficulty 3.
Or actually, no. Sorry. How far away are they? This might
Still
be better.
within.
If I can,
They are still within short range. Like everything.
because if I can just run
absolutely.
up to them. In that case, what I'm gonna do is something I got a while ago because it seemed way more practical for Mason. So I'm gonna do surging confidence.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my action to make a first recovery roll of the day, and I immediately gain another action.
Oh, sick. All right.
But I don't know if I can do that and also do the short distance thing and run and do 2 additional damage with the punching thing.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to spend a might to take my recovery roll,
Okay.
which is to recover my might, so I can do this move again.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, what do I
Sorry.
so
So you
first I have to do the
right. So
recovery
it's just a
roll.
D6, and then you add your tier. And then you
Oh
can.
my
Did
goodness!
you roll a 1?
I did.
Well,
Yeah.
that's how much you get to distribute amongst your pools, however you see fit.
I'm putting it right where it belongs. It's right back in might.
Perfect.
Did you get
And
to add your
now-
4 to it?
Yeah, your tier.
Hmm?
You add your
Yeah.
Five.
It's back almost to,
Okay.
almost back
Cool.
to what I
It's
need.
like a tier 4. You're like, I rolled a 1. Well, you get 1 point.
It's already yeah. No, that would So okay, awesome. And now I'm going to do I'm going to run up a short distance, also doing that, and going to
Yeah.
pop one of the pirates with a medium fist.
Perfect.
With the 2 additional.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead and roll. The difficulty is 3. You reduced, I think, automatically to 2 from training.
With no need for weapons, right?
No need.
Does that
No
help?
need for weapons is the thing that allows you to do more damage.
Oh, that's
So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
your training in medium weapons will reduce. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So you're down to
Okay.
2. So 6 or better. Yeah.
All right. Hang on, Bina. Oops. Hang on. Okay. 10.
Okay. So Mason, you like run up and just like fly like a leap and like flying punch, just sort of like right down on one of those guys, and he just collapses under it. Like you just catch him like right in the clavicle, and he
Actually, gonna be an elbow.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. You just come down, just elbow slam right down into the clavicle. You can feel the break as you bring down your elbow, and he just goes down, like he just goes clutching his now broken clavicle. Yeah. The other one just sort of turns and just like wide-eyed stares at you. And since it is their turn, he is just going to like glance past you, see the rest of them retreating into the dropship, and as he's standing there, like you can see the dropship, the other dropship, just like lifts off, and he like looks past you, glances back over his shoulder, and sees Bina like wide-eyed standing there over the 2 unconscious pilots, and he just drops his gun and just his hands go up.
Even better. Do I have time to handcuff?
Sure. Yeah.
I have a question. I do have a question. How the dropship that's leaving? How far has it gotten?
At this point, it's like it has risen up to just above the other dropship. So like, probably like I would say maybe like 10 feet in the air.
Okay, that fits in my range. I want to use fast step. I can use fast step to leap through the air. So I want to use fast step to, if I can do this, I want to use fast step to essentially bump up there, and then I want to use exile. And basically what exile does is I send a target that I touch hurtling into a random dimension or universe where it remains for 10 minutes. You have no idea what happens to the target while it's gone, but at the end of the 10 minutes it comes back in the precise spot it is. I just want to send a dropship, but nobody in it.
Ooh, okay. So, yeah. So
Every
here's-
sentence got better.
Here's what happened.
So basically, I do want to say like, obviously Taeyeon disappeared, but he reappears
Yeah.
in this round.
So like,
because
so Taeyeon
happens
just
in
suddenly like
action.
blips back into place, and you look around quickly, taking into account everything, taking in what has happened in your absence, as like you can see the last of the pirates retreating into the airship, Mason having thoroughly handled 2 of them, the rest of them sort of like laying scattered and like groaning on the ground, and you see on the dropship the Racted, he like makes eye contact with you as you appear, and you can see as his sort of like mandibles like they part, and you can see underneath this like his bared spider fangs just as the door like comes up and closes. You just sort of start running, and then as you run you just disappear and just are like end up on top of the dropship. So is there a role involved with? I don't think so, because it's an object. It's just an object.
Yeah, so
it can't really resist
like
you.
what kind of happens, like he kind of like runs and like he disappears and reappears like a meter, like just maybe a meter ahead, and like as when he reappears it's like kind of almost glowing in this energy, and he essentially just slams into the dropship, and it is weird to watch because he's like a 5 foot nothing lizard, but like it seems to just send the whole dropship flying backwards, and then it just disappears,
Yeah.
leaving everyone that was in the dropship just sitting in air
Yeah.
for some reason, and then just eventually.
Yeah, they all
drop.
just fall. Like the dropship, and in like you get there, and then as the dropship is like rising up, it continues rising up, going to take off, and you just sort of, and the dropship gone, and
disappears.
like Taeyeon and the rest of the occupants of the dropship just fall. So, Taeyeon, I'm gonna have you give me one more roll here. This is going to be a speed roll. Just sort of orient yourself as you fall.
Yeah.
So, actually, tell you what. I'll basically allow you to use Far Step again if you give me basically a speed roll here. So like.
Okay.
Because otherwise.
Just a.
Yeah. So the speed roll, the difficulty on this speed roll is. I think the difficulty on this one is going to be 5.
Okay. I will try and bump that down because that's
Yeah.
pretty high. I'll use I'll eat for my speed for the first time. I haven't needed to do this yet. With to bump that down to a 4. This is just a speed task roll, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. Yeah. It's purely just about how fast you can recover from like suddenly dropping, and after everything that you just did, to like do that again, basically in time.
I think that's as far as I can lower it, so I'll load it down to a 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
All right, so this is a 12 or better.
16.
So
16.
as you go into free fall, you just sort of tuck your arms in and just sort of vanish and reappear on the ground as pirates just start raining down around you, just sort of crumpling like to the ground as they land.
Raining pirates.
Just sort of as you sort of like stand up in the middle of that, you glance over and you see Vix just sort of standing there, like having finally like wrestled away like a weapon from one of the pirates he was grappling with, and he like turns the rifle in your direction and he just like watches you and just says, "Well, I guess if you wanted to be extra about it," and he just sort of slings the rifle over his shoulder.
Hey, I mean, he got the job done, and like as he says that, like another pirate just drops.
You just step to the side briefly as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that over. All of the pirates are basically just sort of lying in a crumpled mess around. You hear the grass sort of rustle behind you as you turn and you see the Ractid sort of coming to his feet. As he looks over, he says, "Well, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't expecting that." He says, "I'm First Mate Creve of the Void Caller." He says, "And I demand parley." And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a way to end that. That's so perfect. Oh,
I can see him. I can see him.
Yeah, me too.
I can literally just imagine who this is. Oh,
He has a
that's
pirate
fucking
hat in my picture. I hope you guys.
Yeah, it's got like a tricorn like hat made of bits and pieces of.
Oh.
No, woo.
I've been wanting to use XR for
This is
so
so
long
fucking
now.
great.
I know. I was so
Perfect
excited when you
chance.
pulled it out.
Oh, so sad.
Were there only 2 dropships or
There were just 2 dropships.
Oh shit, y'all! We did not 2 dropships.
I feel like just
That was
before, like,
sick.
I do want to just so I can remember, because I'm gonna
Mhm.
probably forget that dropship comes back in 10 minutes with no pilot. So like, we just need to keep that in mind.
Good to know.
Just wanna keep that
Move
in
away
mind.
from it, you know.
Just get out of the general area.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
I'll make an image of where the dropship will be so that we just stay
So
away.
remember.
It just autofills.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Handily took out
Crazy.
like 20 pirates and 2 dropships. 20 pirates and 2 pilots.
2
Yeah.
pilots. It's good. It's good that I was the pilot handled the
Yeah,
pilots,
pilot
and
versus
then
pilot.
and then the
Yeah.
rest
Makes
of you are more competent than me. It's
Oh
fine.
my God. Yeah. So,
I can just run fast and punch
Yeah.
really hard.
You guys are
in
so
this.
good at fighting.
I know.
I
I'm
think
like,
this shut
shit. They
things out
can't
of you,
hear
you know.
me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's why
I'm
I'm like, no.
screwed.
I didn't even use all of the things that lower my lower attack rolls for me. I just needed to do 3. I was like, I have like 3 more that could help as well.
I forgot the defense. I get like become specialized in defense rolls while I'm blending in. So I wouldn't have. I don't.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, lucky.
It would have
My
dropped me down
defense
to
is
like
so
nothing
bad.
anyways, because I can't see me. Don't know I'm here, so I am good at hiding. I forgot about that.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for so
Oh,
much for
boy.
hanging out with us tonight. This was a lot of fun. I am very very glad to have seen. It's a far cry from the earlier combats that you guys got into. It's like
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Where Vix would just almost kill us every time.
Oh yeah.
That too. I was thinking more in terms of like the muggers that you took care of that were beating up Patch.
Oh, yeah.
Like-
Like 3 muggers.
Yeah.
Level 1 versus level
He
4.
kneecapped one of them, and then like,
Oh god, yeah.
they were racist. They
Yeah, that's
deserved
true.
it.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
good. No, it's
very
fine.
All right. Well, we
that note.
are gonna go. First of all, everybody, don't forget that Ramblemancy this Friday is at 7 p.m. Pacific time, with our guest Omar Najam and a returning John Boyle, to a screen near you, to talk about media favorites. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm very, very excited. So make sure to tune in for that. Freeman, if you will take us out with our end of stream announcements.
Jump onto the Patreon, y'all. There's gonna be so much cool stuff there. We're doing a TTC this week, tabletop tool chest, our every other week little skeleton writing prompt for you guys, whether it's a game or a story. This week it's gonna be, I think it's sci-fi,
I think it's
adventure hooks.
adventure hooks.
Cyberpunk. Just so you know. And there's also Media Club, and there's the World Builders. If you're on here and you've subscribed, you get a backlog of all of our lower tier stuff, all the media stuff.
Yep.
It's also on the Discord.
Yeah.
Actually, that's my last announcement. But you can also hit up the merch.
Yeah.
We got these cool stickers with brand new art, season 2 art, and a new sweater.
Yeah. Oh, do I still have that up?
And a
I might
mug.
still have this. I can do this. I can show that.
Oh, sure.
I do still have it. Cool. All right. Yeah.
It's cooler than the
Yeah.
mug.
We have this really cool sweatshirt with our season 2 Infinite Horizon art.
yeah.
It's very
It's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
And you can also check out our coffee. It is a good way to check out our ways to support us in our short-term goals. Our artists, our art of all kinds, art, music, both of the same. And and also the Discord. Do not forget the Discord. I got it.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, you did.
I don't
you
know.
did. You're faster than me.
Got it.
And I had it lined up because I definitely wanted to like point everyone who does not know to the Discord. It is a wonderful place. It is wholesome. Go and check out general chat for the Good Morning and Good Zone, and just everyone's just talking about all kinds of cool stuff. There was sometimes I have a hard time keeping up, you guys. It's amazing. Go to the Infinite Horizon chat and talk to us there. It's a good way. Go to the Discord. It's a good way to stay apprised of what we're up to, what's going on. So yeah, check it out.
Can I be cryptic and a bit of a tease and say there are things coming, but with no elaboration? There is stuff that is happening, and I can't wait for you to see it and show you.
Yes. I too am very excited. I have also been cryptic about things. If you're talking about the thing that I think you're talking about, then
We probably are.
I
Yeah.
have
Okay,
We talked
now
about it today.
Okay,
one
get
of
out of
us
here with
today.
this suspicious behavior.
I knew there was
Exactly,
something
go.
going on in that chat today. I scrolled past
you
that.
all know what we're talking about, so
Yeah, you all
You
do.
all- you
We'll
know.
tell you
Wait,
after
do
to
I?
remind you.
I'm just showboating.
fair,
I'm just
fair.
We're lying.
Oh
Hey, come
wait,
on.
do I know what? I
Yeah.
think I know. Okay,
Maybe.
I think I know.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
So just be
Just
excited.
general
in vague
excitement.
terms
Yeah,
for the future.
just be generally excited.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody, thank you so much for coming to hang out. Don't forget to catch Power Play with Caitlin over on Q Times on Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific, and Drac in any number of places that he might be.
I'll be honest, the thing I'm most excited for is Parliament
Yep.
Owls.
You guys
just,
are
like,
gonna.
be
I'm so
there.
excited for you.
Yeah.
Be so
Over on Q Times,
cool.
9:30 Eastern.
Friday.
It's gonna be great.
Friday,
Yeah.
Friday, Friday.
All right, everybody.
Friday. Q times.
We're gonna go.
Do it.
Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We'll see you hopefully Friday for Ramblemancy, but if not, we'll see you the next time you decide to come roll with us. Good night and good zone.